Last time on Square Roots, we go hunting with Felicia Day, meet a zombie warden, and meet a real live Kunari companion. Also, we free an ancient Tevinter mage from his magical prison. I don't think there'll be any long-term repercussions for that, right? Right.
And welcome to Square Roots, the classic RPG podcast. My name is Jim Banks. I'm joined by Matthew Van Zandt.
Hello, Jim. Hello, listeners.
John Knight Commander Brandon. And Vanessa.
Oh, hiya.
All right. And this is a podcast where we play and talk about your favorite classic RPGs, one chunker at a time.
Which Kingdom Hearts episode is this?
Oh, buddy, I wish. This episode, we're wrapping up Dragon Age 2, The Deuce.
The Deuce.
Pretty
we all
cool,
finished
right?
it, huh? Did everybody
Yeah.
finish it?
Yeah.
You know, it's rarer
Yeah.
than you think to get to this
It's
last
true.
episode
Yeah.
and have all of us, all
Check
four
with
of
us at the end of
here.
Final Fantasy Tactics.
I'll
Oh, by the
admit
way,
that-
I guess we can announce that, right?
Oh,
So, the first vote of the year has reached its climax, and a winner has been selected, and that winner is
Final Fantasy Tic Tacs.
there it is, War of the Lions.
Final Fantasy Tic-Tac-Toe.
So this you have to play the War of the Lions version to
Yeah.
technically be playing along with the podcast, right?
Yeah.
Well,
the-
I mean, they aren't that different, are they? The script is
Matt
different.
said it was like a whole different game.
It's like I never said it was a whole different game. It's
I
a
thought you said that.
different story. It adds a lot to the story. It basically has a story. No, it had a story. It adds a lot to the story, and it changes a bunch of stuff.
It retranslates it for sure. Like, it's a very
Yeah.
different localization. It's much more in line with 12.
I think there's, yeah. But it's not a different game. There are two sequels to this game, kind of, and they're both garbage. Those are Final Fantasy Tactics and Final Fantasy Tactics Advance and Final Fantasy Tactics Advanced 2. Garbo. What are we playing this week?
Dragon Age 2.
Oh, yeah, you already said that.
The end of Dragon Age 2.
It's the end of Dragon Age 2. Should we just vote now on whether or not Dragon Age gets to live? Is that what
nope,
this is? It's a thumbs up, thumbs down
nope,
situation,
nope,
like we're Roman
nope,
emperors or whatever, and this is
Nope.
the Colosseum, and
Nope.
does Dragon Age survive?
We have to do everything in a very specific order or we'll get a lot of angry emails. So before we can even talk about Dragon Age 2, we have to visit our most popular segment, Hot Gaming News.
Wow. There's a
So,
lot of hot gaming news this week. Horizon Forbidden West came out on the PS5.
I want to play that.
I want to play it, but not until I have a PS5. I'm not wasting my time with that PS4
I gotcha.
version.
Yeah.
Yeah, you said a lot, so that was one thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then I also
The DS or 3DS and
right.
Wii U stores have an announced closing, but for a while, like, the closing's really not until March 2023, so you got a year. However, they're going to stop credit card. You can't put more money in your wallet after like August, I think. You might be able to add more money on Switch, but I thought they were different. I don't know. Someone said you could put more money on Switch and then use it there, but I don't think that's true. I think they were lying to you. So, yeah, get those 3DS games while they're cheap on the store. You know, probably Sega and Capcom will have another fire sale. And there's a lot of good stuff on there. I really like the 3DS. I think it was a lot of fun system.
How do you feel about the shop closing?
Well, at least unlike in the Wii store, you can still download the games you bought for like they said for a long,
okay.
way past next year. So
That's a better scenario.
that's all I ask for.
Yeah.
I have some hot kind of gaming news, right? You guys hear about that they're going to make like 15 Sonic movies now? Because that one movie was good.
Isn't it like another movie or two in a series or two or something? It's
going to be a lot.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of gaming news. It's not.
Did Sonic 2 even come out yet?
No.
No, it comes out this summer, I think, or in April or May. That first Sonic movie, pretty funny, gotta say.
Mm-hmm.
Is it?
Yes.
Jim Carrey is just hilarious in it. He's great.
I think Sonic is a good character in that.
Sonic is a good character in that, yeah. It's not a totally insufferable Sonic, and Jim Carrey is he just like steals every scene that he's in. He's so funny.
What's his? Who's his voice in
Ben
the
Schwartz?
movie? Yeah, Ben Schwartz. Ben Schwartz
yeah.
does a great job as Sonic. He's very lovable, and I'm excited for Sonic 2 because I do love Knuckles and I do love Tails. I love Tails, guys. I love Tails.
I also like Tails. I like Tails better than Sonic.
Yep.
Here is some other casting movie TV news. Somebody somewhere is making a Fallout television series.
It's Amazon.
On
Wow.
the Fallout games. Yep, Amazon Prime, and they have cast Walton Goggins.
Ooh,
As
I
a
love
ghoul.
Walton Goggins.
As a
He's
ghoul.
gonna be a ghoul.
Is that what it said? I thought it said he was going to be the lead.
I think I said that
Yeah.
and I misinterpreted a headline.
Aw.
Yeah, he's gonna be a ghoul, which I can see. You know?
Yeah,
Look
yeah.
at his
He's
face.
definitely like a little goblin person.
Yeah, he's kind of on the way.
Yeah.
So good
He's a
choice.
great actor.
More like Walton Goblins, right?
Ooh.
That kind of leads into the fact that they
Netflix?
are going to make that BioShock movie.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say. Do you think that's going to be better or worse than the BioShock
when that
Netflix?
got announced, when that BioShock movie got announced like a week ago, I put a link to it in the group chat, and I was like, they're gonna make a BioShock movie, and I know how much Vanessa hates Mark Wahlberg, so I was like, and they cast Mark Wahlberg as the lead in it. And Vanessa's like,
He
fuck.
did.
That's right.
And I made a really cool joke that Jim ignored or didn't notice.
What was
Wow.
the
That was a
joke?
joke.
When he said they were making a BioShock movie, I said, "Would you kindly repeat that?" And he didn't.
Oh, that's right. I wanted to prank you. I wanted to
Get
Marky.
that
Yeah,
prank
you're
down.
so
I wanted to
focused
Marky,
on the
Marky
Mark
Mark, yeah.
Wahlberg prank.
Yeah.
And it worked.
That's how he got
speaking
you
of
with the Mark
Mark
Wahlberg
Wahlberg,
prank because you were so
You got-
worked
you
up
got-
over being ignored, your joke being
I
ignored.
was.
You got
didn't
Marky
I was.
marked.
stop to think through it critically and who the news source was.
Yep. Speaking of Mark Wahlberg, that Uncharted movie is out. Sitting at a fat 34% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Wow.
Oh, ew, that's not good. I
That
don't want
means
to
a
see that movie
third
at
of
all.
the people who went to see it thought it was great.
You're such an
Hello.
optimist, Johnny.
John is a defender of Mark Wahlberg in general.
Ugh.
He is.
Let's not get into that. That's problematic.
Especially as Sully. When he was cast, he was like, "Oh my god, this is my dream casting for
Yeah, that's
Sully."
true. He
I
was so
can't
excited.
believe, like, you can't grow a mustache, man. Like, you don't have to do the Sully voice. You can be 25 years younger than he is in the games, whatever. But you can't be bothered to grow a fucking mustache. Like, the one physical thing you have control over to make yourself look more like the game character. Just can't do it. That's so stupid. Have him put a fake one on. So silly.
He won't do it.
Yeah. Well,
His
ruined
face is
Uncharted.
his moneymaker. He can't hide that.
Uh,
Remember when Harvey Cavill grew that sweet mustache for
Oh,
Mission
I love
Impossible?
Harvey Cavill.
Did you say Harvey Cavill?
Harvey
Yeah,
Cavill.
he's great.
I also
Speaking
love
of
Harvey
Harvey-
Cavill.
I like Henry Keitel.
I've got
Harvey
this
Keitel.
friend named Harvey Cavill, and he's gonna come with me to Congress, and he's very strong and plays Superman.
Speaking of Hank Cavill, he was spotted in a board game shop picking up a Warhammer book because he loves that Warhammer model stuff. That's some hot gaming news
Cool.
and celebrity news.
Yeah.
What was Bobby Midkiff there? Because he's been like doing Warhammer tourneys. Maybe he and Harvey Cavill are friends.
Maybe. I don't think Bobby Midkiff was there. There were 2 people in the picture I sent to Johnny about this. He didn't recognize either of them.
No.
But I can reveal now that one of them was Hank Cahill.
Wow.
Thank you.
Did you guys hear the controversy around the esports gamer who got fired for saying that men who are shorter than 5'7" have no human rights?
Yes.
I think the controversy was that she had also said a lot of other like racist and problematic stuff.
Oh, did she? I just saw that headline the other day, and
Why would you tell that to me, Jim?
It is worth it for your reaction, John.
How dare you?
Any other hot gaming news?
Yeah, there was a cyber patch.
Cyberpunk Next Gen.
They've now
patch.
fixed pretty much everything in Cyberpunk.
Wow.
Pretty much. However, when I was playing the game on Series X, in the new Series X version, which I'll talk more about in my level up, you could see the feet of my character poking through his shoes. So fixed
great.
is a relative term.
I was going to actually re-download that just so I could see how much different it feels. I heard they fixed the driving too, which was super janky in the pre-patch version.
It's really good now.
Oh, it's really
fun.
good now?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's exciting.
I think if I touch it again, I'll restart it because I really messed
me
up
too.
my thing. I think.
Say they completely redid the skill point system too now, right? Yeah.
And so if you load your old save, you get to redo all your skills.
Oh, you can respec your character? That's super cool.
Well, you always could, but it just costs a lot of money.
Oh, it costs an exorbitant amount of money to do that.
So
In-game
basically,
money,
it's
not
at the
real.
state that it should have been when
At
it was
launch.
released. Yeah.
Yes, this is when the game should have launched, basically.
So, now that we've talked about all the big hot gaming news, maybe we should move on to our favorite segment of the show. The one where...
Wait.
Oh no, Vanessa has
I
more
have
news.
one more piece of hot gaming news.
Oh.
The Twitter sphere had field day today with a tweet from a fella who posted a picture of Aloy, the protagonist of Horizon Forbidden West, in all her HD glory, and he asked the question, why does Aloy have a beard? And circled the part of his face, or her face, I'm sorry, where he saw the beard. It was, in fact, normal human woman Peach Fuzz. But this does raise the question, now that graphics are finally able to convey almost photorealistic women, are gamers going to be able to handle it?
Wait, are you telling me women have beards?
Women have hair just about everywhere. Like, you can't really see it, but it's there. They also have, like, pores, pockmarks sometimes, chips in the teeth, you know.
Oh, no.
Sorry, I couldn't take it
Gamer
anymore.
Jim is vomiting.
Yeah.
I love
And,
that people retweeted that original post saying, how to say that you've never seen a woman up close without saying you've never seen a woman up close.
Yeah. Way to out yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But this does,
virgin.
it raises the serious issue that a lot of gamers have that if you can't easily, like, jerk it to a game woman, what source do we have for, that?
What's really strange is, like, why would you be less comfortable jerking it to Aloy and be more comfortable jerking it to, like, a Lara Croft it's made of, like, 6 triangles?
Or like a shiny, rubbery, dead or alive girl.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like, how is that better?
Why does every game have to have everybody be sexualized is the question.
I would never sexualize a video game.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, is every protagonist has to hit all the buttons for everybody's fucking...
How do you think
Matt-
they would have reacted if, like, Lady Dimitrescu didn't shave her legs? Or, like, what if it, like, rendered her, like,
Armpit hair.
Yeah, something like that.
Aloy should have armpit hair. She should have, like...
Yeah, she ain't
What, does she,
shaving.
like, stopping to, like, shave her legs while she's fighting robots and things like that? But society isn't ready for that yet. The point, Matt, is that there's nowhere else, if you have a computer or an internet-connected console, that you can see a woman.
Yeah.
So games are obligated
Mm-hmm.
to present women that you can fap to.
Well, if I
just
get
the
really
law.
invested in the character, obviously I'm going to want to fap to it.
Ooh,
to
this
it.
is emotionally resonant to me. Ugh. I'm feeling compassion for this character's experiences. Ugh. It's my impression of Matt. The walls in the Square Roots house are thin, so it's pretty
Yeah.
accurate, I would say.
Is that the last piece of hot gaming news?
That's it.
That's it. That's all the hot gaming news that's fit to hear. John, would you like to tell us how you leveled up?
Yeah, I really would. I have a lot to talk about today. First, I want to talk about the theme to a wonderful classic film you all know called Touch of Satan. Do you know the film Touch of Satan?
Yes, I do know the film Touch of Satan.
Anyway, it's in my head right now because I watched the Mystery Science Theater episode with it. It's such a weird 70s movie and has like one of the best, I think, MST3K riffs. Because all they're doing is like naming 70s actors for an hour and a half and just making fun of it's a weird, terrible movie. Like a genuinely like bottom of the barrel. Not quite as bad as Manos Hands of Fate, but really similar. And
Which one is Touch of Satan?
it's the one where this guy Jody drives slowly to a farm, and then at the farm meets a girl, but her grandmother's murdering people, and turns out she's a witch. And
movie sounds great.
her grandmother's actually her sister because she doesn't age. But the song in it reminds me so much of the overworld theme from Dragon Quest 1. And then I was like, oh, I've been using Reddit more, so I was like, oh, I should post that on Reddit and see what people think. And it got removed by a moderator saying it was a low-effort post. And I was like,
Wow.
screw you, fucking
Wow.
Reddit. There's just people posting shitty memes on there. Why is
What sub did you post it to, though?
JRPG?
Wow.
People post shitty memes on that thing all the time.
Yeah.
And this was just me
Yeah.
comparing two songs.
Low effort. Try harder next time.
Anyway, so I played the new version of Cyberpunk on PC and Xbox Series X, sort of comparing and contrasting. I could go into a technical deep dive here. So I will. The Cyberpunk on the Series X has two modes, a 60 frame per second performance mode and a 30 frame per second mode with ray tracing. That doesn't look... okay, the shadows are better, but that's all it does. It doesn't do most of the things you kind of go for ray tracing for, and it's not worth half the frame rate, but it does look better in some parts. I wish games would give you like a triangle where you could pick 2 out of 3 things, like high resolution, ray tracing, good or like all the graphic options. So those are the 3 things. Oh no, frame rate. Let's say high resolution, good graphics options, including ray tracing and frame rate. I would always choose good graphics and frame rate and keep have it on lower resolution, which should be an option so that it can actually run with all the good graphics just at a lower frame rate, or lower resolution, but it's not. It doesn't let you do that. It always wants to be 4K. So it kind of looks
Interesting. That's interesting.
That's the only problem, is that no matter what, it kind of looks
I wonder if it seems like, based on that tech demo I played of like that Matrix game,
yeah.
that maybe the new gaming engines will be better about that.
I think that they could figure out ways to streamline it, and maybe make a third option of good graphics, high frame rate, low resolution. I don't know. but maybe people all want 4K. Maybe people are. It looks good though. It definitely looks way better than it used to. And,
That's good.
But still looks better on my 4-year-old PC than it does on my new now gen console. So
Wow. It's a bummer.
Yeah, with like a 6-year-old graphics card in it. But it is a 1080i, so I don't know. Anyway, there's that. There's the MST3K, which I talked about. What a good... So I've been going through this list of top 25 best episodes, slowly going down.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, Touch of Satan's really fun. I really enjoy it. There's one that I keep getting stuck on, Samson and the Vampire Woman. It's just so boring.
Yeah, that's like that's my problem with some of those MST3KFs is some of them are just the movie's just too boring.
Yeah, that one I think I might have to. Well, maybe I'll just try to watch, like have it in the background while I'm eating dinner or something. And finally, remember last time on Square Roots, Matthew Van Zandt said, "Well, you should just follow one of those Twitter things that tells you when things are in stock."
Mm-hmm.
Matthew Van Zandt was right.
Yep, I was right.
I did that. I got a PS5. Well, I will. It's going to come in like 3 weeks. So
Wow, that's exciting. Did you get the disky version or the non-disky version?
I believe it's because it comes with a disc, so it's probably going to be the disky version.
Okay, yeah, that's cool.
And Vanessa wanted to trade me. It comes with Horizon. It was a bundle because that's all you can get now.
Yeah.
But it came with an extra controller at Horizon Zero Dawn. And Vanessa's like, "Oh, just send me that. I'll send you Halo Infinite." And I was like, "Vanessa, that disc is worthless. It comes with Game Pass." I might just send you the disc. Well, I think it will cost me like $20 to ship to you. That's the only problem.
I mean, that's
don't
cheaper than
have-
what, 70 for the game, right?
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
don't have the disky PlayStation.
Oh, you can send it to me, John. I have the disky PlayStation.
I was just wanting to help out, but I mean, she could just buy it. She could just
Yeah.
buy the game she wants to play. So that's my level up. What about Matthew Van Zandt? Let's see. Thanks for helping me out with getting the PS5 before Gran Turismo 7 comes out.
I've been continuing my adventures with Divinity Original Sin 2, Divinity 2 Original Sin, whatever. And that game's super fun. It's great, like a great RPG. I feel like a nice turn-based. It feels like playing like a tabletop game a bit, which is what it's great. What was the other thing? I finished watching. That's right. This is the episode. My level up this week. Peacemaker. Do you really want to taste it?
We've been talking about that. I wasn't sure if I wanted to taste it because I didn't know what the it was. So I did a deep dive into the other lyrics of the Peacemaker song, and I believe that what they're referring to when they say it is the sort of euphoric high that comes from ignoring your own limitations and the construct of the world around you, but the song does admonish that you're going to come down from that high as well. So when you think about if you want to taste it or not, you should consider whether or not you think that the crash will be worth the high that you experience.
So, Peacemaker finished this week, and I don't know if our listeners have been watching along at home, but that might be my new favorite show ever. Did anybody else watch Peacemaker? You don't want to spoiler it.
Well, I watched 2 episodes of it this week, so I'm up to the end of episode 3, on to 4.
How are you enjoying it so far, John?
So which is the one that Vanessa crushes on? It's Judo Master, right?
No, it's Vigilante.
No, I'm pretty sure it's Judo Master. She was like,
Oh, maybe it is Judo
man.
Master.
I want to be the Lady D to him and like throw him around.
Wow.
And have him do what I say. Is that right, Vanessa?
It's Vigilante.
Yes! Oh, I thought you weren't here.
No, it's Vigilante. Vigilante, I've talked about this on the show before. They tried to make it seem like he's not hot, but you can tell. You can't just put glasses on someone and be like, "Oh my god, what nerd!" Oh.
Plus, like he's also like so like such a charming character.
He's a charming character. He's a really great guy. He cares a lot about his friends.
Uh-huh.
Has a strong sense of right and wrong.
No, he doesn't have a strong sense of. Well,
No.
he's a murderer.
He's a
but,
sociopath.
Yeah.
But
What
he
a
only
great
kills criminals.
Well, unless there's an accident, is what he says. He's
Unless
like,
there's
we
an
only
accident."
kill bad guys unless there's an accident.
Yeah, unless they accidentally kill the wrong guy.
Yeah.
His taking over the sniper rifle at the end of episode 3 was rough.
Oh yeah.
Well, it wrapped up, and we don't want to spoil it, but boy, what a great show, and I'm glad that it's coming back for a season 2, and I am hereby starting the petition to begin the Gunverse. You know?
You mean the James Gunn universe, not the Gunn universe?
Yeah, the James Gunn universe. Maybe like
So not what's that movie called? Zardoz, where big heads like spit out guns.
Yeah.
I hope that I really hope that he gets to do more with DC, and I hope that he gets to do something like a Justice League, because that would be a lot of fun, I think. You know what I'm talking about? Vanessa, you know about that JLI?
I know about the Justice League. There's a lot of different opinions about it, but I think that it's not controversial when I say that the greatest members are the Wonder Twins, and it's a crime that they have not been in any movies.
Sure. All right, well, that's it for me. Vanessa, how did you level up this week?
I made a bargain a while ago, and
With the devil?
with the devil. I fulfilled my end. So I guess all I have to say is, Jim, I watched Pig. So what did you think of? I literally just told you, episode 2, which you promised to watch if I watched Pig.
I haven't watched it yet. It's in my watch later queue for YouTube, but I haven't watched it yet. What'd you think of Pig, though? It's pretty good,
I'm not
right?
going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you. I refuse
Thank God.
to talk about
because
the
if I have
movie
to hear about
Pig
that movie again.
on this show until Jim fulfills his end of the bargain.
All right. Stay tuned for. I guess Vanessa's just teasing a level up this week.
I'm not done.
Oh, okay.
I also watched a movie called Arrival, which
Oh,
I
wow.
had never seen. I liked it. I think that if you're the kind of person who likes sci-fi movies like The Martian that feels really grounded in actual things, you aren't going to enjoy Arrival. Even the way that it approached, without getting too into spoilers, it's very much about language and teaching language and how you communicate via language and perception. I don't think that the way they presented teaching language was super accurate or detailed.
So you don't
but
think Arrival is hard sci-fi?
I don't think it's hard sci-fi. Nevertheless, I enjoyed it.
What?
And nevertheless, I enjoyed it, I say. I'll say it again.
I can't. John's making faces, but I can't tell to whom, you or me.
I
John,
don't know
chime
what
in.
his issue is.
Yeah.
John, tell us
I
what
would
your issue
definitely
with
call
Arrival
it
is.
more like harder, classic Asimov style.
Yeah, absolutely. I would
Speculative
say it's hard
fiction.
sci-fi as well. It's hard sci-fi.
Yeah.
It's all about language and like the technicality of learning another language. That's the
It's
entire
like
movie.
Ursula K. Le Guin could have wrote this.
I
you know?
just didn't feel that it was super realistic. But
Okay.
I'm not a linguist. I don't
It's
know
true.
what I'm talking about.
You're not a linguist.
Maybe it was.
What does hard sci-fi mean? Like it gives you a boner?
Yeah. Yep.
No.
And those aliens made me so. Vanessa did
Those aliens
Vanessa,
look so cool.
Vanessa, be honest now. Honest time.
Yeah.
Did Vanessa cry?
No, I did not.
Wow.
Are you a stone-hearted monster person?
Yeah.
That movie
Oh,
is. I
well-
love that movie, but it is hard to watch because it makes me.
Yeah, I will never
very
watch
sad.
it again. I watched it once
Yeah.
and I thought it was amazing, and I can't hurt myself like that again.
Yeah.
You know what?
I was dehydrated.
I think I am lying, but I didn't cry for the reasons you would think that I would.
You cried because the sci-fi wasn't hard enough.
I'm thinking about crying just thinking about it.
I cried because of more of the sort of global implications rather than character moments.
You cried at the politics.
Yes.
All
It's
right.
on Hulu.
Are
I'm not
you
done
finished?
yet.
I was just asking.
No. On Xbox.
And Vanessa got an Xbox.
Yeah.
Finally.
Yep, I finally got one. Just like Johnny, I followed the tweets. I saw one available. It was a bundle, and it came with something I do not want, which we mentioned before, the disc version of Halo. So I'm
Maybe a
going to give
listener
it...
would-
Yeah, I'm going to give it away. Going to give it to a
Yay.
listener. I
So
haven't
then,
really
so then
thought-
they'll have the worthless
So
disc.
then you'll have a worthless disc. No, you know what? We say it's worthless because this game is available through Game Pass, but not everybody has Game Pass.
Vanessa
So,
will autograph it.
Yeah, sure. I'll sign it.
I
I'll
don't mean to
sign
be-
it and send it to you.
I don't mean to be rude,
Yeah.
but I would not be surprised if you're not able to give this away.
Even with the promise of me signing it.
Yes,
Come on.
I think if you're offering instead of a package sealed thing, you're offering an opened and scribbled on thing. And the value's gonna go down.
Well, you could have
Yeah.
the option of signing
Yeah,
it, perhaps.
yeah. The option of signing it. I will sign the package sealing.
If you want us to drive the value of this thing even lower by having
Yeah.
Vanessa autograph it,
I guess if
know,
it's still
let us know.
package sealed, you can probably take it to GameStop and get like a $2 credit or something.
yeah.
They would laugh.
Okay,
you
so
out
I
of the
will
store.
not sign it. I will include a signed piece of paper with it.
Why would you
How about
do
that?
that? Are you also going to write your social on that, or how? Tell me more about how you're going to give
it's
scammers
you
your.
know, usually people's
just kidding.
autograph signature is not their like signing document signature.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know
Why
about
most
that.
autographs are just scribbles.
I'm not a
Yeah,
fancy
they're like
Hollywood boy.
round and fat and things like that.
Yeah.
I, of course, am a fancy Hollywood girl, and so I will sign something. I will include it with the disc copy of Halo Infinite.
Will you draw something for them?
I might.
Do a little doodle.
Or maybe I'll do a little doodle.
Wow.
Okay, you get.
How did
here's
this turn
what you
into
get from this
work on Vanessa's
contest.
part?
John just keeps adding things.
Vanessa,
You get-
$100 cash. You'll put $100 cash in with the disc.
I will not. You will get one disc copy of Halo Infinite. You will get something which I have signed. It may or may not be the disc copy of Halo Infinite. Probably not, because I want you to be able to take that sucker to GameStop and get your $2 store credit. And I will include something else.
Mm-hmm.
It could be a doodle.
Mm-hmm.
It could be something I have
Poem?
lying around the house.
Sorry, poem.
It could be a poem. It could be a picture of Johnny Brandon. It could be...
Wow. You should sign a picture of me.
I'll sign a picture of Johnny and include it in the package. So if you want that, just do it through email. It's the Square Roots podcast. Not the... Okay, the email is...
Do what?
Square Roots Podcast at gmail.com. Send us an email with the subject line, "Gotta have that Halo," and tell us, say in the body of the email, "I gotta have that Halo," and we'll choose someone at random on, let's see, this comes out on a Monday. Don't want to keep it open too long.
Friday?
Yeah, Friday. Friday, the...
Should they also mention the peanut buttery crispness of a Butterfingers?
Yes, please put in your email, gotta have that Halo. I need to game better with Butterfinger, the crispity crunchity snack that keeps you going.
Jim, do you like our contest?
Yeah, this is
Through those
we're
6
gonna get a
speed
cease
runs.
and desist from Butterfingers for sure.
You want to send all that into squarerootspodcast at
Vanessa
gmail.com.
will also include a Butterfingers with the
No,
prize
she
package.
won't.
No, I don't have one of those.
Do you
so I'm not
include Three Musketeers? They're good too.
I might have a Three Musketeers.
$200
I will
cash.
include in this package the Halo disc, factory seal copy of Halo Infinite for the Xbox, a signed something,
Jim still has to
potentially a
level
picture
up.
of Johnny Brandon.
I got some from my
And-
alt I could send.
Well, yeah, I guess we could send other things, and it's something else. Let's just call it the Square Roots prize package. You can get all that
right.
if you just email exactly what I said before
Exactly.
Yes, exactly. All right, now let's
by
move the fuck on.
February the 25th. Moving on.
Jim.
Hey, I leveled up. I went to the movie theater last night
What?
and saw a movie called The Cursed.
Was it worth getting COVID?
Yeah, that's the
You
question.
know, I think it was. I was thinking about that this morning. Was it? It's like if I got COVID, was that a movie I would be proud to say that I saw? And you know what? I'm going to say yes. It is a great period horror film, werewolf film starring Boyd Holbrook. It's super creepy and got a lot of good gore. And the only thing I don't like, and I don't think this is a spoiler, it's not a spoiler for the film, but like the whole thing that sets off all the scary stuff is like magic Romani people. Which the characters all use the word gypsy a lot.
That's not
no, and it's just it's like a trope that I wish would just go away. But that's the only thing I didn't like about the movie. But otherwise, it's very good. It's super creepy. Good horror film. See it, The Cursed. I also watched the new Steven Soderbergh film Kimmy, the one starring Zoe Kravitz. That's on. Yeah, the one that's on the one that's on HBO Max starring Zoe Kravitz, and it's really good. And then I wanted to tell you guys today, when I was on my way home, I drove past a haircut place for gamers called Gamer Cuts.
All right, we all got to go to DFW and go to Gamer Cuts.
Yeah.
We have to loudly complain if we see any women in there about how they're not allowed to have hair anywhere but on top of
Wait,
Yeah,
Vanessa's
it's-
going to be in there with us. She's going to get a Gamer Cut.
I'm
mean,
gonna get
not-
a gamer cut.
She can't play in any of our multiplayer games. I hope you guys know that.
That's true.
Wow.
Well, I
but
can,
no, you can-
but I have to be the healer.
You can sit in a gaming chair and play like what looks to be, according to their website, a bunch of Xboxes. You can play an Xbox and get your hair cut, and you just never have to stop playing video games.
Can I get a
Ever.
hot shave? Like Italian style
I don't
hot shave
think
there?
I'd
so,
love a hot
because
shave.
it says it's
Well,
a
not
hair.
so. I don't
Well,
want to
I
ruin his
don't
beard.
know. It says welcome to. So their website says welcome to Gamer Cut, a hair salon for kids, teens, and adults. Why can't they just say
Yeah, that's
everyone?
everyone.
We provide quality haircuts, extraordinary customer service, and, in all caps, gaming.
Wow.
Come play the hottest games on the latest consoles while getting a haircut.
Did y'all,
And-
as a kid, ever go to get your haircut at one of the places where they put you in like a fun little chair? Like it's
Like a
little
rocket
race
ship or
car,
something?
It's a little rocket ship, and it's
No,
like,
I
oh,
never did.
blast
I
off
always
to a
went
haircut.
to Costa's barbershop in Beaconsfield. He was like this big, friendly Greek man. And I bet he would give people a hot shave.
Yeah. I've never had like a professional hot shave before.
Well, we should do that when we go to Dallas. We'll go to Gamer
Yeah.
Cuts. We'll get a hot shave. And we might have to go to a different place to get a hot shave.
Yeah.
Just make it a whole spa weekend. Why not?
Hot shave is literally spa for men. That's all it is. It's like you get like hot towels in your face.
Do you get a hand massage?
Probably not, no.
You could probably pay extra for a hand massage, though, right?
I think that they'll kick you out of the...
No, if you ever not that kind of hand massage where somebody massages your hand. Have you guys ever had a hand massage?
Not at a barber shop.
They
Jim,
do
you
that
can't
at-
just
they do
ask.
that at-
You
they do
can't
that
just
at
go to a
barbershops
store
here.
or a restaurant and ask for a hand massage if that's not what they
that
do.
at barber shops here. You
What?
you can pay extra and
Yeah.
they'll give you a hot towel and massage your hands.
Oh, I've
Do you
never heard of that.
consider- Do you consider a handshake to be a little hand massage?
No.
Yeah, because you're not like it's more of like a hand fight.
A
It's like
fight?
it's like a greeting / how firm is the other person's handshake. So there's like there's like 2 milliseconds where you're both squeezing, and it's really awkward. Nobody should shake hands with anybody else ever.
Oh, I totally agree. I want to bring back the curtsy. I think I've said this before for both men and women.
You know what? I'm a big fan of the fist bump. That's almost where I default now, is just bumping the fist and not shaking the hand.
That's a little bit much contact for me.
It's better than a freaking
I like a
sliding
nice
your hand over someone's sweaty palm.
I like a nice firm handshake and maybe a smack on the bottom. We need to get into this show. I got a lot of
so hold
shit
on,
to
one
do
thing.
tomorrow. We
One
gotta
thing.
wrap it up.
Vanessa, I told you that I was watching that Nixium documentary.
Yes.
And I won't get into the specifics, but the creepiest thing on one thing that I was that I was asking myself while I was watching it, because people would be like, we didn't think there was anything weird about it, but these people greeted one another every single time by kissing each other right on the lips, and like that to me is the weirdest thing about like their whole. I mean, not the worst. I'm not saying it's the worst thing about their cult, but that was one of the weirder things. Was like they're always just kissing each other on the lips.
Well, if you live in New York, you do the hug and the air kiss. It's not that far away from the lip.
I don't know.
What show was it where they had, like, was it Seinfeld, where they're like, oh, I don't know if it was a friend kiss or a kiss. You, like, kissed me at the end of the night. Was it a friend kiss? I'm like, what's a friend kiss?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Listeners, if you kiss your friends, email us, squarerootspodcast@gmail.com. I want to hear about it.
Subject line, gotta kiss my friends. And then in the body of the email, please put, I gotta kiss my friends right on the mouth to taste if they've had a Butterfinger, that crispity crunchy snack.
That
helps me
crispity,
gain
crunchity
better.
treat.
Yeah.
Okay, we can talk about Dragon Age now. I think.
Hopefully.
Yay!
So, best served cold. Oh wait, this is Varric's Tale. Varric's Tale. Varric?
Best
Did I say Varric?
served cold
Varric.
by Joe
Varric.
Abercrombie.
Varric's Tale. Hey, so in the notes here it says Meredith or Orsino tells you that mages are having super secret meetings. It could be either one.
Yeah, I think it's based
That's-
on who you've been like siding with, right?
Yeah. If you, at
Oh.
the end of Act 2, beginning of Act 3, when they're having their big public debate, we're like, I love Templars, I hate mages, then I think Meredith will send you this.
Why would anybody side with Meredith?
Because Orsino is the one who was like, I would go check it out, but if I got caught, it would look like I was orchestrating all these meetings. So he asked you to do it.
There's lots of reasons to side with Meredith, like blood magic, that's pretty bad. Look at what happened to our mama.
Yeah.
Speaking of Orsino, we'll get there. But,
Yeah.
Orsino. So we go to Hightown.
This part actually made me laugh because you run up on this meeting happening and they're like, oh no, it's the champion. And then they're just like, we got to kill him, I guess.
There's one guy. He was the one with the gutters before. He's there. And he's like, oh, I'm not killing the champion. The champion helped me out. He's a good guy. At least in my game.
Yeah, that happened to me as well. And
Yeah.
he refused to, like, participate, and it was pretty great. Mm-hmm. Wouldn't kill my sister.
Yep.
Because they kidnapped Bethany. Did we mention that?
No, we haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah,
Oh my
so
God.
so you find him in Hightown, and then you have to kill some of them, and then you find a note that says there's a warehouse. So then you have to go to the docks to find the warehouse, and that's where you run into Mr. Gutters.
Kieran is his name. Yeah, we fight the guys in the warehouse, like the ones in Hightown. They're like, "Oh, the champion," and Kieran's like, "Oh no," and goes to the corner. And after that, he looks at you and he's like, "I told them not to take one of yours. I told them it was a mistake. We shouldn't do that." I'm like, "Take one of my what?" And he tells us that somebody has been kidnapped. Matt, you already told us who it was for you. Please reiterate.
Bethany,
your sister, who had gone to join the Mages Circle, I believe. Is that correct?
Yeah, I have not seen her other than in the flashback. Other than the flashbacks last episode, I have not seen her since she got taken off to the circle.
Johnny.
Yeah.
Bethany is dead in your playthrough, I believe.
Yes.
So I assume they scooped up her corpse and took that.
No, you see, right before I did this quest, I did another quest called Bonin Fenris.
Oh.
So that quest involves talking to Fenris and being like, that's great. Why don't I touch your floppy hair? And he's like, "I'd love to touch your floppy hair, but not here, another time." And then I went back to my house and he was there and he's like, "I've been thinking about you. We don't agree on much, but I do agree on your D." And then my big bear Hawk did throw him against a wall and like aggressively kiss him. I sent Jim photos as it was happening, and Jim was like, I'm uncomfortable with the way that they are kissing."
Yeah, the way that they're like I think it was John's character.
Yeah.
Normally when people kiss, both their heads are tilted in like complementary directions. John's character's head was almost perfectly straight, and Fenris's head was tilted like
45 degrees. Or 90 degrees. And so then we did have sex. There was some like kiss. There was a short scene of them kissing in bed. Cut to the next day, and Fenris was out of bed saying, "This was a mistake. I have to leave." And
Oh, jeez.
my joke was, "I wasn't that bad, was I?" And he said, "No, you were good, too good." And, he's just
If I had a
uncomfortable.
nickel.
Well, I think that he might have stayed in bed with me if he and I were friends, but he hates me, which is very realistic. We've all had the hate sex before.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and so that's what that was. And so they're like, we kidnapped the one that he holds most dear, the elf from Tevinter. And I was like, "No, my fuck toy."
Whoa.
There's a still I took of those two up against the wall, and Fenris is so wafy and thin, and like Hawk is like 3 times his thickness. It's really strange. How to say you've never been with a twink without saying you've never been with a twink.
Jim, who did they take for you?
Excuse me. For me, it was Bethany.
Also went to the circle.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, it was Carver, my brother, who joined the Grey Wardens.
Oh.
Nobody cares about Carver. He's dead. He's dead, Vanessa.
Not dead. He's not. He's only half dead.
You are living with a ghost.
He's not a ghost. He's just taken the taint inside of him.
So they kidnapped somebody important to you, and what happens? We run into Samson?
Mm-hmm.
What's Samson got to do with it?
First question, who is Samson?
Yep, that's
who could remember
That's kind of what I
Samson
was a little blocked there. So.
I vaguely remember him from... Wasn't he something to do with, like, we get him fired from the Order because of Fenriel, or was he already... He was already fired?
Something like that, like way back in Act 1.
Yeah.
Didn't he say
was
something
a
about carrying
Templar.
letters or something?
He was very. He
Oh,
was
that's
like.
right. He was smuggling letters out to different mages. Like
Ah.
letters to
Yeah,
their
that's
loved
right.
ones.
What an
And he was-
asshole. He deserves what he gets.
And he was doing it, and now he's like. Hawk talks about him like lying in gutters, addicted to lyrium. I'm like, Hawk,
Jesus.
Jesus, yeah.
Well, all Templars are addicted to lyrium. That's their thing.
That's a thing.
That's how they control the Templars.
Well, and I feel like that Hawk shouldn't shame someone for experiencing homelessness and having an addiction.
Yeah, Hawk's
That's-
been homeless.
Yeah.
He's a refugee at Kirkwall.
You guys are
Well,
really
you know
hitting.
how you know that survivor bias thing.
Yeah.
If I could survive and become mega rich, anyone could, and if they don't, they're just lazy. That's what that is.
You guys are hammering home at the real subtext of the game, which is that both sides are bad.
Well, that is the subtext of this
Hey,
game.
John, that's the subtext of every single fucking BioWare game. Cracked the secret.
Yeah,
Cracked the code.
they are from Alberta.
Nice Canadian political joke
Yep.
in there.
So, yes, you now have the option. He's like, I've threw my lot in with the mages, just to get back at Meredith because she fired me, and I dislike a woman in power. And I was like, huh. Well, what if I asked her to get your job back? And he's like, you do that for me? And I'm like, yeah, you seem great. He's like, okay, bye.
That's not quite what happened with me. I was like, yeah, I'm going to go see these mages because I think that they're super cool and great. And he's like, well, they have been doing blood magic, so I can't really help you out with that. I was going to offer to help you smash them. But anyway, see you later. And he walks away.
Oh, I got him his job back.
Yeah, I had the same interaction as Vanessa.
Oh, okay. Well, I took maybe a different tack to this ending than maybe you folks did this time, because I did the other ending last time, so I wanted to see what happens if I chose a side.
Yeah, so we get down to the beach, and there we find the leader, the Templar Thrask, who we've dealt with in the past, and his band of merry mages, including Grace, who was also kind of from the very beginning of the game. She had escaped the circle with a dude who was doing blood magic. And then at the end of that quest, we could either send her back to the circle or let her go. I did let her go.
Yeah, and look what you get for that.
Yep.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember who she was, to be honest with you.
I couldn't either.
Yeah, she
I'm
was.
glad Vanessa
She was
explained
one
it.
of those ones escaping.
Yeah.
That Act 1. So Grace is there. Okay, this is my experience. Grace is there, but also there's another guy that I helped escape, and he's like, "No, Hawk is good. I'm not going to help you with that." And she's like, "You'll see that the true power of blood magic." And she like stabs herself with her staff and turns into a big monster. And everyone's like, "You're going too far, Grace."
Yeah. I
That's
mean,
about what happened to me.
I gotta be honest
Yeah.
with you. At this point in this game, like, anytime you talk to a mage, I'm just waiting for them to burst into a monster.
Yeah.
Like, it's really kind of I chose the way I chose at the end of the game, but it's hard. It was kind of hard not to choose not hard, but I was a little tempted to choose the other way because it really does seem like every single person that touches magic.
Definitely every mage you run into after a certain point turns out to be a blood mage at the end.
But then I'm always
what
there
we're
to kill
saying
them.
is,
So.
Templars are right. Templars.
So I do.
You know what? All Templars
I-
are good. ATAG.
That's not
Templar
true though.
lives matter.
So you get into a big fight with all the mages here. You explodify them. I've been having so much fun playing as a rogue now that I've got like their going to stealth, backstab them with dual fang. Oh, it's great.
Couple of things in this episode also as a rogue that really worked out for me that I really liked is I finally got the ability that basically makes every hit in the back a critical hit.
Yes.
And I also figured out how to use that explosive dagger move that I guess I haven't been using right the whole game, so that turned out to be a big thing. Just chunking off damage. Critical, and now here's half of that critical damage again for all of those hits.
Yeah. It's great.
It is, and the decoy is super fun. I started using that a lot. I even used that on the last boss here, and it did work. Like not at the very end, but no, not her. No, I'm thinking of Big Monster Boy. Well, we're not there yet, but a lot of these rogue abilities have finally gotten fun. What about?
Was it worth it?
I mean, I kind of wish I had played. I still wish I had played a warrior, but like, I did get enough. What I wanted to do was be able to knock people around the battlefield, and by the end of the game, I was able to do that, and that was satisfying. Does anybody else want to talk about their combat there while we're all talking about it?
I'm a mage.
I know. I'm not asking you what you are. I'm asking if you wanted to talk about the end game version of it. You know.
I have an area of effect spell that brings down fire on everyone's head. So I tend to start out with that on a battlefield. And then I have another area of effect spell that kind of makes a black hole in the middle of where I cast it. So everyone slows down to a crawl. I did get my hawk to the point where she has resurrection magic.
Oh, cool.
So she can kind of help Anders out on that front. And then I have fireballs and ice balls and things like that. All of your elemental things. It's good. It's good fun. Gravity things. I can smash people down to the ground.
I gave you a little guff about how I've been able to revive the whole time with the potions. But you know what? Like, the secret of that is that I never know where they died on the field, and I always have to spend like 5 minutes hunting them down so I can throw this stupid potion on them.
Yeah, having the top-down view in the PC does help a lot.
Yeah, I bet.
All right, let's move on. So,
wait. I was gonna say I'm a warrior, and I'm using this axe that I bought from one of the weapon vendors, and it is the best axe because it allows me to kill most. I think all the mages and some of the Templars in maybe like 3 hits if one of those hits is a special attack. And I have the big overhead slam attack. I have the really powerful like swipe that hits a bunch of people around you at one time ability. And I did I used one of my specialization points to be, I can't remember the name of the class, Reaver. And I got an ability that lets me drain health from enemies and fill my health bar, which is helpful.
That does sound good.
Yeah. Like a vampire?
Yes, like a vampire, so I can like suck their health out. And I'll usually do that if my health is getting like below 50% and like I'm not able to like and I'm waiting for my other abilities to recharge. I can just suck some health from somebody.
Wow. You admitted it on air.
All right, so gotta fight Grace. In my playthrough, she was like gonna kill Bethany because she doesn't like you, or she didn't like me for some reason, and she was just gonna kill Bethany because she wanted to get revenge on me. And then the Thrask tries to stop her, and he gets like assaulted, and then she turns into a demon.
That's about how it went down with me too. She's upset that we killed the guy who was the blood mage that she escaped with.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
She has thought it over, and she decided that although she felt he went too far before, she's like, no, he was right.
Yeah. Now we gotta kill her. So in here, I don't know if I missed this part, but it says Cullen shows up.
Yeah, he does. At least for me, he did. After we kill her, he showed up with Samson, and Samson was like, "You see, I told you what was going on." And Cullen's like, "Oh, so what's the deal over here? And I was like, oh, well, all of these were kind of blood mage people, except for this one guy here who's cool. And he's like, okay, well, is there anything I can do for you? And I asked him to please make Samson a Templar again. And he did.
Oh, that's nice.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember this. Well, this didn't happen because I just kind of dismissed that Samson guy. I had a whole other quest where I had to go meet Cullen at the Knight Commander's office. Did you guys get that quest?
I don't know.
Wait, no, that's the king. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of the king guy. There's a quest that I got that said go to the Knight Commander's place and because the king is there, or maybe he's in a different, maybe he's in a castle or something, but you go there and he's just being berated by Knight Commander Meredith.
Are you talking about Alistair?
Yeah, Alistair. That's who it was.
Yes, I did see him.
Yeah. Is that quest on here?
No, because we're only covering...
we could talk about it.
We did talk about it, didn't we? We talked about meeting Alistair.
We didn't end up getting to it last time, I don't think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's not that much of a quest. It's just kind of a cameo.
No, just go to one
more.
place and have a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Unless he's there drunk at the hangman. Having not become king, he does become an alcoholic.
Oh.
If he is not king. I learned that from my first playthrough. This time he was King Alistair, and it was a lot of fun.
It is fun.
So you run into him, you're like, what's up? And he's like, I'm Alistair. I'm in love with my warden wife. Goodbye. I don't even remember why he was there.
What I got from it was he was trying to tell Knight Commander Meredith to like slow her roll because tensions were building, was what I thought he was doing, because she's like yelling at him for like being ineffectual against the mages, right? Or like not caring about what's going on. So like he goes there to tell her to like, chill, and she's saying that he's not reacting strongly enough.
Yes. She's like, you should clamp down on all the Ferelden circles. Mage is bad, 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 bad. Mage is bad.
Mm-hmm.
So, the next quest, The Last Straw. You walk in on another Meredith and Orsino fight again, and it's kind of like the last one, only a little bit hotter.
They're really getting in each other's faces.
Yeah, they're about to kiss. They're about to kiss. Vanessa, why don't they kiss?
They should. They could solve all their problems if they would just acknowledge their latent sexual tension and come together. Although, I kind of get the impression that she's not Orsino's type, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I think you might be right there. So they are at each other's throats, but then Anders' little surprise happens. The one where he's like,
yeah,
could you get some nitrates and saltpeter for me? Oh, they call it salpetre. Sorry.
Yeah. His little special surprise, which he told us was detaching himself from justice.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, he starts to giggle like a naughty boy, and he's like, it's time for my surprise.
No, so I think, like, in my playthrough, I was trying to convince them to come to a compromise, and then Anders is just like, yeah, you're not going to be able to do that. And they're like, what do you mean? And then the chantry blows up.
Yeah.
This is so fucked.
This is a nuclear explosion, basically, what happens to the chantry.
No, it's not.
Very over the top.
It is like it's like some TNT went off in the fucking top of it.
It's a
But
big
there's
laser.
a red pillar. There's some kind of red laser thing going off there, too.
It's some kind of weird magic bomb that he's made. And then he's like, yeah, see, I blew that up. Everyone's pretty shocked. Sebastian was not having it. He was like on his knees crying because his mentor was in there.
Sister Frassafras. Justinian? Was that Justinian that blew up?
I don't think so. I think that is a character from Inquisition.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, he's super upset. Meredith is just stupefied. Renzio's like, "What the hell did you do?" And Anders is just like, "Look, I was really worried that you guys would compromise, so I did blow up the chantry so there could be no chance of compromise."
Mm-hmm.
Which is a choice.
Mm-hmm. And Meredith is like, now I have no choice but to execute Order 69.
Yeah, she does. She calls it the
Law of annulment.
Right of
or
annulment.
whatever.
law of
Right of
annulment.
annulment, yeah.
And she's like, yeah, so a mage blew up the chantry, so I'm just going to kill every single mage in this city.
Yeah.
And Orenzio's like, it wasn't even a circle mage. What are you talking about? And
the
she's like,
culprit's-
I hate mage.
The culprit's right here.
Yeah.
Nobody deals
immediately
with Anders,
confessed.
by the way. You would think that either of these groups would be like, give us that motherfucker. And instead they're both like,
Yeah.
who cares about him?
Well, I think maybe they are too nervous of Hawk and companions to try to go after one of Hawk's own inner circle. But they do demand that Hawk deal with him.
I guess I probably would have given him up at that point, to be honest with you. Like right in the moment, I was definitely like, yeah, war in Iraq, let's go.
What'd you guys do with Anders?
Stabby, stabby.
Oh, you killed him.
I killed him.
Wow.
Because he wouldn't... Because at this point, you also have to kind of choose a side. Mm-hmm. And they're like, who are you gonna side with? You can say like, everyone's wrong, or the Templars are wrong, or the mages are wrong. So I said, this time, screw the mages. Look what they did. They killed my mother and blew up this church. So, and then Anders is like, well, I'm not. First, you can ask Anders to atone for what he did, and he's like, well, I'm not going to do that. Because I can't join you. You're gonna fight. You're gonna kill mages. I'm not doing that. And I'm like, well, it's either that or I stab you. And he's like, well, stab me then. And so I killed him, and he died.
Wow. I was just like, it's okay, dude. First I was like, why'd you do that? And then he explained, and then I was like, okay, you know what? Come with me. It's fine. Because I wanted him in my party. And also, did you guys lose a character here?
No, because I sided with the Templars, and I romanced Fenris, I think, so Sebastian and Fenris stuck with me.
Ooh, see, I lost Fenris here. So I brought Anders back into my party, and I lost Fenris, who's like the warrior, so I had to have Evelyn in.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And I got a line of dialogue from her between her and Anders where she's like, yeah, you're definitely going to jail after we do all this stuff.
Wow. I spared Anders, and then I decided to have him atone by staying in my party. And Fenris did not leave me. He was like, okay, bro, I love you. And I was like, cool, bro. And we fist bumped. And Aveline also was like, I feel like I should fight with the Templars, but you're pretty cool. But unfortunately, I did lose the DLC character with Sebastian. Yeah, Sebastian was real mad and was like, I'll go to France or wherever I'm from and come back with an army. And I was just like, who cares? Fuck you. Kiss my butt. You know?
Mm-hmm.
He was
So
not
even
around
though I
long.
went against the mages, Meryl and I were good enough friends that she's like, I don't think you're doing the right thing, but I also killed my entire village, so who am I to say?
She's pretty tethered to you at this point. That's right, John. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't lose any. I only lost Sebastian. I sided with the mages. And
I did similar to Matt. I seriously considered stabbing Anders for two reasons. Number one, I remembered at the very beginning of the game when Eveline's husband was infected, and I didn't discourage her from killing him, I would say. And so it seemed like it would be poetic if I then had to kill my partner because he was infected not with the taint, but with terrorism, I guess.
Yeah.
with a spirit. And, but then, I don't know, he's blonde and he has long hair and
Wow.
he just looks at me and he's like, oh, I blew it up. And I'm like, and he's like, just stab me. I don't care anymore. And I couldn't do it. So I did say, no, you have to, like, atone for what you did by fighting to protect the mages that are left, because I don't think that magicide is an appropriate reaction to you blowing this thing up. And he's like, oh, I'm amazed. You're so understanding. And I'm like, I know. So then Fenris was like, this sucks, but I will stay with you because you are my only friend. We had a conversation about that actually right before this at his house. He's like, my only friend is a mage. I would never have believed it. I don't know what to do with my freedom, We just talked about his feelings a lot, and I think he appreciated that. And like Matt, Sebastian was like, I shall go and reclaim my kingdom and raise a horrible army against you. And I was just like, I'm not afraid of your dumb army, Sebastian. Get the heck out of here. And Aveline also was like, I don't like it, but okie dokie. So I was happy to keep my party intact, more or less.
No spoilers, but I'm a little bummed by the end of this game because of this part. We'll talk about that in a moment.
Yeah, I'm curious what you're getting at. Yeah, so Anders I totally killed, but everyone else was fine with it. And we're going to kill all the mages.
No, we're going to kill all the Templars.
No, I'm going to kill
No, we're going to kill all the Templars.
mages.
Anybody that chooses kill all the mages is problematic, John. You're talking about killing all the slaves because they're scared of their slaves. I don't like it.
In Johnny's defense, I do believe he made this choice only because he knew that none of us would.
Yes.
Yeah.
I wanted to see what would happen.
I mean, I'm not honestly accusing John of being an IRL fascist. Just an IR.
I was like,
just an IRG.
Meredith, I agree with everything you're doing. Keep at it. It's great.
IVG fascist in video game.
Oh, I finally saw the Mystery Science Theater where the It Stinks is from. Because I'd heard that, they reference it so much afterwards. But you finally see it's like this guy's recording and then he gives like that okay sign and is like, it stinks.
I love that.
God, like I'm going to go to bed watching Mystery Science Theater 3000 tonight because he won't shut up about it.
Watch Touch of Satan.
As
it's
much
great.
That whole song where he does the "It Stinks" is so good.
As much of that show as I have watched, I still don't think I've ever seen every episode. I've seen a bunch of episodes a bunch of times.
I've seen a handful of episodes an embarrassing amount of times.
Jim, that's the one with idiots on control now.
Yeah.
I had a friend that had a bunch of box sets, VHS box sets of like the seasons back in like the early 2000s. And I would.
Oh, that must have been a lot of tapes.
And it was like each box set was like 3 or 4 tapes, and he had several box sets. So
remember,
I watched
a season would cost you $200 if you got like all the Babylon 5 VHSs.
I also definitely had multiple just taped episodes for years and years and years. Until I finally got rid of the VHS in like the early 2000s, because I hang on to things.
Anyway, so now is the end game. Have you noticed that I'm seeing a pattern here with all these Western fantasy RPGs that they all end with like a city exploding and you walk through the city until you get to the end boss, like Skyrim, Oblivion, Dragon Age 1, and Dragon Age 2 all end this way.
Isn't even the first time you've done this in the game. To be honest with you, during this part of the game, I was legit bored. Like, come on. Like, this is the same burning city from the last time the city was burning.
Yeah.
Also, it got weirdly buggy for me here, where like characters were like not where their models weren't there, but like their armor and helmets and stuff were.
Oh,
weird
weird.
people and stuff. I had to restart at one point. It was a bummer, but it.
There's an encounter that I had, like an enemy encounter in this area that party wiped me 3 times.
Oh, jeez.
Where you run into that blood mage and all of a sudden, like, 30 shades show up and a big giant demon that can stun lock you.
I managed to catch that demon in the corner before it came out, and I killed it before it left the corner.
Oh man, if you let them all onto the field, like I just got killed so
By
quickly.
the end of the game,
I also
your
got party
rogues
wiped there, actually.
can like one hit shot those demons. It's amazing.
My character now that because once I leveled up, like I was playing it on one save, eventually got through it, finished the game, and then I reloaded a save, and I respec'd my character a little bit after I gained a couple levels, and it was much easier once I figured it out.
I think I was level 23 or 24 by the end of the game. I was
something like
I leveled
that.
up in the middle of like right before the final boss fight, and paused it and gave myself a couple extra, I had to get my dexterity as close to 70 as possible. It was fucking ridiculous.
Holy crap.
All of my other stats were like teens, and my dex was almost 70.
Yeah.
I've been splitting
that.
willpower and constitution and dexterity.
No, dex.
I got up to I got my strength for my warrior up to 54, and then I started putting it towards my crit chance stat.
Yeah.
Is that dexterity? And then got my crit chance up to 40%.
My crit chance,
which was I was dealing crits a lot.
That's where it's at. You start dealing crits every
Yeah.
other hit, and you mow through these guys.
Yeah.
What a great game. All right, so Dragon Age 2.
So this doesn't really make any sense because we start in the gallows and then suddenly we're in Lowtown and have to fight our way to
That's
the
what
gallows.
I thought too.
Yeah, it's
I
weird.
was like, why if it didn't I didn't understand the geography of this. And then when you get on the boat, I was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah. But I did find a special friend in Lowtown. Carver was there.
Yay!
He was fighting some Templars, and then he's like, "What's up?" And I'm like, "Carver, what are you doing here? Like, you're supposed to be a Grey Warden. What's your issue?" And he's like, "Well, I am supposed to be a Grey Warden, and I know we don't really get along very well, but I just felt like this was where I need to be. So I'm here to fight by your side if you want me." I thought this was kind of nice because he is a warrior, like a two-handed warrior like Fenris is.
Mm-hmm.
So if he had left, he would be a good replacement for that. But I did decide to put him in my party because it just felt right. He's like brother and sister, side by side again. Huzzah, huzzah. What if Mom could see us now? And I was like, I think she knew it would take something like this to get us together. And he's like, ha ha.
Does the other your sister come back, Jim? Bethany?
I don't remember her. Oh no, she is there. I don't remember. You tell her to just basically hang out behind.
A bunch. One thing that Sebastian and Meryl, who weren't in my party, did show up for the big final battle. They were non-controllable, and I thought that was great.
Yeah,
and also
and
Cullen and Samson and a bunch of people.
Oh, I didn't have Samson, but I did have Cullen and I did have Bethany. So they were there at the final battle.
Yeah.
I had Aveline and Mariel. He gives, at one point, Hawk will give the rest of the party orders and be like, all right.
That's before the final
okay.
battle. Or is that before this part?
It's definitely...
It's before,
there, so let's...
It's not before the final battle. It's before the...
Is it before Orsino?
Yes.
Yeah, before Orsino.
Yeah, let's
Okay,
do this
that's what I-
chronologically.
Yes, go ahead, Vanessa.
So,
Okay.
Yeah.
So we get through Lowtown. We have to fight through the docks. We talked about the big monsters there. For some reason, we take a ship then to the gallows. Again, I do not know how we got out of the gallows. I wonder if we still have... If we still have Isabel, I wonder if we take her ship.
Oh, maybe.
And that would make a little bit more sense.
But I thought you don't get in a ship, you just get in a boat, right?
Okay, if
Yeah,
you're
what are
semantic
you-
about
what are
it,
you-
yeah,
what are
you
you
get in a
arguing?
boat.
No, I thought when I say boat, I mean it's a small boat. It doesn't look like a pirate ship, does it? Or does it?
It did not for me, but maybe
Who
it would.
cares?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I did have to kill Fenris right around now. And in the first time I played the game.
Oh, I just told him, I was like, come back to my party, bro. And he's like, okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so when you arrive at the gallows, whoever has left your party will be there to fight you.
But no one left my
except
party, so it was
Sebastian.
fine.
Yeah, Sebastian wasn't there because he has fucked back off to his home country.
And now you also get the chance to like catch up before the final fight, have a little talk with all your troops, and like say like, Meryl, how do you feel about this? She says, well, I don't know if this is right, but I'm glad I'm doing this with you because I trust you. And she's like, I wish things between you and I had worked out. I'm like, sorry, lady, I've got a twink elf to crush. And yeah, so I talked to all my friends, and they're all happy with the fact that we were all murdering mages.
Wow.
Wow.
I talked to all my friends. Aveline and Fenris do have some reservations about murdering mages.
Where?
I mean, murdering
At a 5-star?
Templars.
At a 3?
What? Oh, reservation. I see.
Yeah.
You're doing the wordplay of the
Thank you.
double meaning of reservation.
Hey.
All right.
Yeah,
And-
I get it. I understand.
We are a comedy podcast.
Thank you. Thank you.
We are.
Trying to interject some levity into this fucking show.
Yep.
I was real low energy at first, but I'm on my... How much wine is in this glass? It's not...
That's a good amount of wine
It's
in
a
there.
2-glass glass, I think.
Yeah. What percentage of the box would you say is in that glass?
It is a box, Vanessa. What's wrong with the box?
so-
Okay, I got the Boda box. I'm fancy.
Wine out of box, milk out of bags. It's a lot going on.
Where does it end?
You know what it is
Yeah.
more than it's. I'll tell you what it is that gets me. That now I've been buying it for like a couple of weeks. I'll tell you what it is that gets me to buy the box. It's because I can just buy the box, and I won't have to go back and get another bottle in a day.
So there's more wine.
Yeah,
in
it's
the
like
box
4
than there
bottles
is
of
in a
wine, so
bottle?
it'll last me like a week
Oh.
instead of a day. Because a bottle of wine, I'll kind of guzzle. I'm a real wino. Real wine guy. Real wine head.
Winehead. That's a sommelier.
I've been drinking wine for.
I think you call
months
that
now.
a wuzzle when you're guzzling wine. Isn't that right?
Isn't a wuzzle? Wasn't that like those?
They're like mashed up animals.
toys? Yeah.
Mashed
Yeah,
up
I
Yeah,
had,
animals.
you get like a
Bumble lion.
butterfly and a elephant and a bumblebee
I thought-
and a bear.
Lion.
I thought
Bumble
Wuzzle
lion.
was that animal that taught kids how to read.
No, that's what
No, that's,
woozle. Wuzzy.
No, that's wuzzy.
That's and he
Wuzzy.
doesn't he
no,
teach him to
muzzy.
read Muzzy.
Is it muzzy?
Doesn't he teach him to read
Muzzy.
Spanish? Isn't that a Spanish language thing?
He teaches
I think
any
it's just
language.
Yeah, I think it's any
Oh, that's right, any
language.
language.
Je suis muzzy.
Boy, that's
No,
3
no.
millennials
Je
that were
suis
awake at
grand
3
muzzy.
a.m. multiple times in their life.
Yep.
Watching paid programming, not being able to sleep. I feel like we all just bonded, you know? The 3 of us. John, sorry, bud.
I've never heard of this.
Muzzy.
Oh, man.
I watched
It
so
was-
fucking much Muzzy.
It was like a 3-minute long commercial that aired in the.
It was an hour-long infomercial.
Was it?
No,
Yes.
it was a video you watched in French class.
But I remember seeing the. Oh, I never watched a video. I just remember seeing the
It
commercials.
used to
on
play
TV.
in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
You know what, Jim?
But they were like-
Jim,
that
it might have
in
been
my
the
French
commercials.
class.
I might be thinking of the
yeah.
commercials.
I think it's like, and those commercials were like 3 minutes
You
long.
might be right. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And they aired all
And they
the time
aired
at night.
over and over
in the early
again.
morning hours. Yeah. Oh yeah. Especially
I
on like
have
PBS.
seen Muzzy. I saw it in school. Muzzy is an alien who eats parking meters.
Okay.
And-
Well, it's real low
He
effort.
introduces
If I
himself to this
put
mouse
that
fella.
concept on Reddit, they would
I would.
be
I would.
like
add,
low
you know what
effort
would
post.
be. You know what would be the best twist in this story about John's post getting rejected is if Matt was the one who rejected it.
No, my
Hey,
low effort
you couldn't
post.
pay me to be a Reddit moderator, and they don't pay them. So
That would be just like that. I'm gonna make a movie out of that.
all right, back to Muzzy. Can
Yeah,
we
back
finish
to
this game?
Muzzy.
We got to finish this game. We got to do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
We started joking around.
so
we're
we're
trying to get through
preparing.
it.
Yeah. I was talking to my party. I finally get to Alistair. And he's like,
Alistair?
in his black outfit. I'm sorry,
Anders.
Aww.
And,
Oh, he's got his Return of the Jedi outfit.
Yeah, he's got his Return of the Jedi
Yeah.
outfit on.
Looks way better.
And he's like, listen, I know I blew up the Chantry, and before that, I broke up with you because I was going to break your heart. But now I know that even though you know that I'm a bomb terrorist, you still accept me, so we should totally get back together and run away together and be fugitives. And I tried telling him, like, no, I'll just, we'll work it out here and I won't let you get arrested. And he's like, I will get arrested if I stay here. So you have to tell me right now, are you going to run away with me and be a mage fugitive, or are we breaking up?
Wow.
I know the right thing to do in this situation. Obviously, it was time to end the relationship once and for all.
You didn't do it, did you?
Well, he was wearing black, and he looks like so tragic, and he's like,
Doesn't seem like your type, Vanessa.
Can I use a phrase that
I'm
I
so
hesitate to use because
tragic.
it's filthy? Vanessa is dick drunk on Anders.
You know what? Maybe I am. Maybe if after Anders had broken up with me, it had let me get with Fenris, I would feel different. But there are only so many ports in the storm. I guess in this case, ships in the sea. And my dock is dry, baby.
Excuse me. What does that
What?
mean?
Wait, what?
I'm sorry, Jim. I didn't mean to offend you. So, I don't know. I didn't want to end the game single. So I took him back.
That's weird.
Well, that's what happened.
Well, congratulations.
Jim, what happened in your conversations? Oh, thanks.
Wait. Which part of the game are we talking
Yeah, I
about?
don't know where we're at either.
When all
Yeah.
your companions are lined up and you have conversations with them.
Oh,
before the
I
final
only-
battle.
I only talked to
What?
the people in my party.
Well, that's all you can talk to. Oh,
No, you can
No,
talk to all of them.
you're right. You're right.
Yeah,
You're right,
I only
you're
talked
right,
to the.
you're right. I got it.
And I talked to Bethany too, because I had skipped a cutscene and I was like, oh, Bethany.
Well, I was missing. You're missing Isabella? You're missing.
Well, I never got
Sebastian.
her anyway.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I
That's
never.
right.
Yeah, I never got those characters. So, and then my hawk gave orders to everyone and basically told them how to participate in the final
That shit
battle
was
if they weren't in my party.
cool, and they did.
It was
and
cool.
I don't understand why the whole
Yeah, they
game
did it.
wasn't like that. That's a cool
Yeah.
concept. That's fun. You have
It
your
is.
4 people that you control, and you've got peripheral characters that are still in your party and are participating by coming in and doing the occasional move. That's such a good idea, Dragon Age.
It
Let's
is. It really
revisit
is.
this.
It adds a whole nother dimension to the strategy
so
of
good.
stuff if it were integrated so well.
I
yeah.
had Aveline and Meryl and Bethany. Meryl and Bethany shooting spells, and Aveline just occasionally fucking ramming through the entire battlefield like a cavalry line, and it was awesome. It really fucking was. I talked to everybody, and Varric was like, are you sure about this? And I was just like, trust me, bro. And he did. And Fenris was like, I don't know how I got here, but like, I'm glad I'm with you. And I was like, yeah, me too. Like, just chill with me, bro. We'll be cool. And I don't know. It gave me a lot of options to talk to my sister, but I was like, I haven't seen you this whole game, so I don't really care what you have to say.
Wow.
I did all of this for her. All right, she's my sister, and that fucking lady was like, "I'll kill all the mages," and I was like, "No, you can't do that because
Oh, that's true.
my
That's a good
sister's a
point.
mage, and I'll kill you. My mother just died. I'm not fucking having it." And but I didn't talk to her much. I just said, love you, sis. And yeah, that's it. And Anders was like, we're cool, right? And I was like, yeah, you're like a terrorist, but I don't know. Like, we're going to die here. Like, I don't know. It's tough. Anders is tough because what he did is abhorrent for sure, and he should probably get stabbed ASAP. definitely. But he is.
I
he
did.
Is,
Yeah, John already did
the
it.
context of the game is that he is a slave. He's part of a slave class, and he's a free slave, and it's real hard to blame him for attacking the government that's enabling that.
Plus, he's possessed. It's
And he
not
is
his
possessed,
fault.
though.
Not anymore.
No, but he explains that away
He
because I asked
doesn't.
him about
He
that.
is possessed. He said they became one. He hasn't really been Anders.
No, well, he
the
says
whole game. Actually,
because like
Vanessa,
you can ask
pretty
him.
fucked
You
up.
can be
That's
like
like bestiality.
You can because you can straight up ask him, did justice make you blow up the chantry? And he's like, no, there's really no difference between me and justice at this point. So he's like, I can't, like, it's my responsibility, which I thought was very interesting thing for the game to do. Is like no longer really differentiate between what justice wants and what Anders wants.
Here's a fun fact. If you went the rival route with Anders, he will say that vengeance is the spirit inside of him, and vengeance blew up the thing.
Oh, that's interesting. Wow, there's a lot of nuance to the writing in this game.
Yeah, your friendship and love makes all the difference to Anders.
I flirted with him once.
I can save
and
him,
he
like,
hung off of me the whole game. It was really annoying. He was so clingy.
That's what happens to me.
But then I felt bad, and I was like, I didn't, but I was like, let's just, all right. I'm on your side. You guilted me into it. But also his side was just, so there's that.
Yeah.
It was not a hard decision. Jim's on the phone. All right, let's do this. So
No, I'm taking a selfie.
we
real
talked
quick.
to all these super cool people, and then the game does say, this is the end of the game. Don't go any further if you don't want to end the game.
Yeah.
And then Hawk gives out orders to everybody, and we go in, and what happens?
Well, you touched on it, Matt, but who did everyone else take in their final party? Let's see, Jim's taking a selfie.
No, I'm back. I took the selfie. I chose
Always
Varric
Varric.
and Fenris and Anders.
Same. That's the party. Anders I could do without.
Well, Fenris has the same abilities as I do, which are wreck multiple people at the same time and kill them in
it's
one-hit
really surprising
abilities.
to me that you bother having Fenris, because if I was the two-handed sword person, I would not have Fenris or Aveline in my party. I would have a mage,
they're so
a rogue,
effective.
and maybe a second mage, because to be honest with you, I think they do the most damage.
But if Fenris and I are focusing on the same enemy, even if it's a higher level, bigger health bar enemy, if we're both hitting this person at the same time, they're dead in 5 seconds.
I will say, I like Anders, but honestly, I would have used Meryl a lot more. I love her rock form stuff. I just give her better heals. Anders is the only person that has a revive the whole party spell.
I have one.
Yeah, well, and Vanessa. All right, so unfortunately, we prepare to go fight Meredith, but Orsino, our ally, has a change of heart and decides to go Blood Mage. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah.
Every
Surprise.
fucking mage in this game.
I do like how this part was written, because he's so scared he starts to freak out, and you're like, dude, you need to calm down. And he's like, no, if she thinks we're just blood mage monsters, I'll show her a blood mage monster. And then he transforms into a big monster
Oogie
from the
Boogie
thing
with a Dead Space bat on it.
Yeah, but I like how he absorbs all these corpses into him, and you can see them on the side of his body. And he's got arms and legs sticking out of his face. It's a gross video game monster, and I was here for it.
It's a bit. You ever see Slither?
Yes, that's a James Gunn film, by the way.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
It's what are we talking about? We're talking about Orsino.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me,
this guy is he's like a Hellraiser monster.
Yeah, he's cool.
Because he has two forms. I think the cycle where he goes to little baby gremlin Orsino, and you have to fight all the corpses. I thought that happened a couple too.
Yeah,
many
that was really
times.
annoying.
Well, I think it did the video game like rule of threes for Zelda boss fights, right?
I think it's 4 cycles for that.
It's not
really?
cycles. You just have to kill him.
When he turns into the big blobby monster, he kind of waddles around like the bear from A&W in the commercials. So I kept imagining that. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
At this point in the
He
game,
has like the most telegraphed attacks of any boss I think we've fought on the show, because like he winds up for every punch for like 4 to 5 seconds.
at this point in the game,
Which, and like all it does if you're in the radius is it like stuns you for a couple seconds. It's kind of a silly boss fight.
at this point in the game, I had given up on like nice options in like speech. Like I decided that we were gonna kill Meredith, and like at that point, once I made that decision in the dialogue, I stopped talking, like choosing like the good option of like we can still talk it out, and just started choosing the like aggressive option of we're gonna kill her. So when I first went to go talk to Orsino, he's like, you know, I have to be a blood mage. And I was like, he's like, all right, we won't live to see tomorrow. And I just looked at him and was like, hey, you'll live longer than she does. And I was surprised that he went through with his blood magic thing. Can I be honest with you? Like my check there for my persuasion should have been a 20, because I felt like my hawk was quite confident, and convincing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think there's a way to stop him from doing this.
That's dumb. And that's why this is a 1-star game.
But, another thing that I found annoying about this is those corpses that he raises, like, that you have to go around and kill when he goes to, like, Little Orsino. Those are, like, the tankiest corpses in the game. They have such high defense. Like, it took
That's
way
annoying.
more effort than it should
I
have.
actually, I had flipped it down to casual by here, so this whole thing went
even on
real
casual, they
fast.
were very tanky.
No, not for me. I went but I was also super high leveled.
You were like 6 levels
I
ahead of me,
legitimately
yeah.
did every single possible quest in this game, and that was not my intention. But I didn't platinum it because I would have to replay it to do that. But for a single playthrough, I did every single thing it would let me do. Spoiler alert for the
Like
Squarely
me and
Against
Johnny.
segment. I think I liked this game.
Oh. Johnny, was your situation different?
With Orsino?
Uh-huh, because you sided with Meredith, right?
Yeah, so he wasn't scared. He was like, I thought we were best pals because you defended me against Meredith like last time. What's up with this, buddy? I don't even know how to do blood magic. And Meredith's like, yes, you do. Of course you do. He's like, no, this is the first time I do blood magic. And then Meredith says, well, what about your friend Quentin? And he's like, oh yeah, that's true. And you're like, wait, did you have something to do with Quentin? He's like, yeah, I knew what he was doing and I didn't want to stop him because I needed the power. And
Wait, Quentin who killed my mommy?
And he's like, you let Quentin kill my mother. And then I attacked him.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's awful.
Yeah.
Well, we did find that note to Quentin from someone named O.
Oh,
yes,
shit.
It's all
exactly.
coming together.
You know what?
So
The whole time,
Orsino
even
killed-
as I was siding with him, I was like, I'm siding with the mages, but I kept saying to myself, like, I'm going to kill this guy. Like, I don't trust him for shit. Mm-hmm. But I guess that's mostly because they make him look like a villain.
So then we do fight Harvester, and Harvester does explode.
He is a harvester.
Yeah.
That's his name. That's his official game name.
Is it really?
Harvester. The Harvester.
That is hilarious.
And then I do like the little enchantment breaks where you see all the bodies of these mages or Templars and sandals there.
There's one where there's like the corpse of one of those huge demons that's laying there, and he's just like, enchantment?
He does that a lot. It's great. So then you get to the main courtyard, and
Yeah, Johnny, I'm sorry. Just to go back, we do defeat this Harvester, and then we're going through the the gallows to get to the courtyard, and that's where we run into Sandal.
Oh, okay.
Yes, yeah, that's right. You have to go
Just to
through.
be
This
clear.
this felt kind of unnecessary. This run through between like when you fight Orsino and when you find Meredith, it felt very unnecessary to me. Although there was a very funny moment where you can go into one of the side rooms and it's a bunch of Templars like in a circle praying together and then just start murdering them.
Well, no,
immediately, which is
that's not what happened. You open the door and then a bunch of apostate mages appear and everybody attacks you. It's like a weird blood magic circle.
I ran
That's
into
not
like
what
a
happened with me at all.
I ran
went
into like
in
a
there-
room and it looked like they were in like a
Yeah.
prayer circle and then I just started murdering them.
I
Jim.
went in, they were in their prayer circle, and then I just watched them a little bit, and then a desire demon appeared in the middle of their prayer circle.
Oh, maybe that's what happened. I just missed it, but I thought I just started wailing on them.
So, you get to Meredith. Now, I was like, Meredith, job done. The mages are
Nice
there, and she's like, okay, now all we have to do is murder all these captured mages. And Colin and I were like, we don't have to murder them. I mean, we're just gonna put them back in the circle. It's fine.
Yeah.
She's like, no, you have to murder everyone. And we're like, Colin's like, no, I'm not gonna do that. And he like took them away. And then she was mad at Colin, and then she went to me and it's like, well, you're here because you have, ever since you came here, the mages, that's when the mages started turning demonic. I think you plotted this from the start. And I was like, well, I'm on your side. What are you doing, lady? She's like, no, you're not on my side. You're actually a demon. So
I thought Cullen said one of the funniest things here where he looks her straight in the face and says, "You're relieved of your command, Knight Commander." And I was like, damn.
that didn't happen in mine. That's pretty
Yeah,
good.
that happened in mine. Then she's like, my own captain has turned against me.
It's very dramatic.
Then she does take out a sword, and it's a big glowing red He-Man sword. And she's like, "This
Red
is
It's
Lyrium
awesome.
sword.
and
It's a
this
cool sword. I
is-
kind of sniped at her about it because she like pulled this sword out and was like threatening me, and I was like, "A cool red sword doesn't make you right."
But this isn't just any red sword.
yeah,
It's
This
a
is-
sword with the red lyrium idol from the first act in the hilt.
The one that drove Bertrand mad.
So,
and it's
just to be
driven her
clear,
mad too.
just to be clear, Orsino was bad,
Yeah.
and he killed your mother and was a blood mage. And Meredith was bad and was also corrupted by lyrium poisoning.
Wait, Orsino killed your mom?
Yes. Well,
What?
no, he
You
knew
killed the guy
that
that killed your mom.
He was
No,
involved
yeah,
with him,
he-
though.
Yeah, he was he was using Quentin to get research and power into defeating the Templars.
So he was like Frankenstein's friend.
Yeah,
Dr.
exactly.
Frankenstein's friend, not Frankenstein's monster's friend.
Yeah.
Thank you for correcting yourself, because that would have been a real shitstorm on the Facebook,
I know.
you know?
Yeah.
So she's got the lyrium idol sword, and it's cool and glowy, and she does for some reason decide to make the statues come to life. I love this.
She
This was
starts
super
praying.
cool.
Yeah, she starts praying to the Maker. She's like, Maker, give me the power to defeat this hawk. And yeah, these statues that have been at the gallows that are like, a lot of them are sort of crouched down in pain. And then you have the giant ones that are the overseer statues. They
You have
all
the gate-
come to life.
Yes, there's the Gate Guardian statues, which are the big ones, and then they call them slave something. Mm-hmm. The like slave statues that are bowing, like around, like on the dais of this battle arena.
And in this
the
battle,
dais,
you
on the
have
dais.
your party. You have your extra people who do the attacks that you told them to. And you can also have lots of different guest stars appear. So Cullen is always there to help you. If you have Aveline in your party, then Donick, her husband, will come and
Oh,
help.
cool.
If you did the whole Zevran quest and let him go, he'll show up and help fight. I guess if
Nathaniel
you-
from Awakenings is
Nathaniel from Awakening, if you found him. And Samson, if you reinstated him as a Templar, will come and help and fight as well.
Mm-hmm. I really like this boss fight. I think it was one of the better, because BioWare tends to have some pretty bad end fights, but I think this and maybe the Mass Effect 1 boss fight are my favorites.
Yeah, Mass Effect 1 was a little bit janky, but I did like this one.
Well, I do like that you can convince him to shoot himself.
Oh,
Mass
that's
Effect
yeah,
1.
that's
Yeah.
yeah. The actual fight is kind of
Yeah,
jank.
actual fights,
Yeah, but yeah, I did enjoy this final boss fight too. I liked that all of the Gate Guardians were different. Like when there was like a 4-legged spider tanky one, I thought that was really cool.
It wasn't too spidery, right?
No, it only had 4 legs. So
Okay.
if it would have had any more, I would have had an issue with it. But yeah, I thought this was really cool, and like there was one point where the Meredith grabbed my character by the throat and picked me up, and it's not very often you have those one-to-one interactions with the bosses in the game, and she picked me up just basically so I couldn't finish the fight, and then delivered a bunch of dialogue about how I was wrong and how she was correct, and it was just really cool. They like packed a lot of very interesting features into this boss fight.
I noticed one animation just sort of off to the side of these 2 smaller statues that had come to life, and they're like clambering down the wall, like to get to you.
And there's
one of
some
them's, like,
that will
hanging
throw
over the
themselves
end.
off the wall.
Yeah. This guy's like hanging off the edge of the wall, and then he falls down and like falls onto his back and is like lying on his back. They're really slow and awkward. It was interesting.
It is really cool. Good boss fight.
So we fight her and fight her and fight her until she sort of defeats herself. She keeps drawing on the lyrium so much that she herself becomes encased in red lyrium.
That was a cool ending.
That was
I
super
liked
cool.
that. Because I thought it was like, it looked like it was gonna, she was like, what's her face? Andraste, help me. And unlike Vanessa, Andraste did not give Meredith
No.
her help. And instead, Andraste encased her in lyrium and punished her for what she did. And she's like, no. I thought it was going to be like this is not my final form. And she's going to turn into a final form here with like one wing.
I thought so too, yeah.
And I'm kind of glad that it went like this, and that
Me too.
Andraste was like, don't use my name like that. I'm real mad at you.
What's the difference between Andraste and the Maker?
Andraste is like Jesus. Well, no, Andraste was a human mage, right? Or is she an elf? She was a person.
It's not clear. Andraste is called the Bride of the Maker.
Oh, so she's like the chosen one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That like everybody, that's like the symbol of their religion.
Yep, she was a living
Yeah, got it.
person, and then, the Maker.
It is kind of
chose
like
her.
Jesus, John. That is kind of like Jesus.
Or Mary.
Not a direct one-to-one.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
more
Of
one-to-one
either.
with old JC. To me.
No, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah. So then, very short ending. I mean, to me, the whole like last 2 hours was the ending. Everything after the Chantry exploding really is the ending. Because
Yeah.
after that, if you were expecting a big, long Final Fantasy VI crossing the world ending, that's not happening. Instead, it's a really short little wrap up with Cassandra and Varric.
Yeah, and I don't understand. It made, I don't know, this ending I thought made the whole story of Hawk feel very small. Because you kind of explain that like, the party stayed together until circumstances forced them to leave the champion's side, and then they're like, where's the champion now? And you're like, I don't know. They're like, is he dead? Probably not. And like, I kind of wanted to see my character again. Like, where's he at? What's he doing?
Yeah, it's really just a setup for Inquisition. Because
Yeah, but it like made, I don't know, it made my personalized character feel so non-consequential.
if you carry your Dragon Age 2 save into Inquisition, you have the opportunity to get really in depth to what each character is doing.
Oh,
now.
wow.
Even Hawk?
Yeah.
Even Hawk.
I thought I remembered that actually. So you can run into your Hawk in Inquisition.
Yeah,
because
Hawk is in
Inquisition was the
Inquisition.
first Dragon Age game I played, so I had no idea who most of these people were. So
Yeah.
okay, so if I do play it and transfer my save, then I can find my Santa Claus Hawk.
Mm-hmm.
That's exciting. Old Chris Hawk.
Yep.
Can't wait
I
to
was
see
a little
him.
And Hawk and Varric will talk about what everyone is doing. And then some of the characters also pop up either in person or like through the big map you have in Inquisition.
Yeah,
It can be like,
that like
Sebastian
war
wants
thing.
you to send support to defeat the mages. And you can decide
Oh, that's
if you
super
want
cool.
to or
I didn't
not.
have any context for any of that before. That's super cool.
I thought the ending was a little rushed and disappointing. Like, I guess I wanted to take over Kirkwall.
Be the Viscount.
Yeah, I wanted to take over Kirkwall and like make it a free home for mages. And it doesn't. I thought.
Oh, you wanted to make a utopia.
Well, I don't want to make it. Okay, like I just wanted to.
You wanted to make a Zootopia.
I wanted.
You want like a commune.
I just wanted to try. Like I thought that it would maybe give me the option. Like in my head, I was like, I'll take over. That's why I was doing in my head. This is why I'm doing these things. I'm like, fuck these people. I'm gonna kill. Like I had Orsino, but then I had to kill Orsino, and then Meredith turned out to be crazy. I killed Meredith, and I thought I would be able to turn around and be like, all right, guys. Well, guess what? I'm in charge, and here's the new rule, and we're gonna be fine. But instead,
Yep. Instead,
go ahead.
if you side with the mages, we get a little thing of like Hawk went on the run, everybody went on the run, everybody split up. In my case, it said except for Anders, who stayed with Hawk all the time.
I did not get that.
But
Yes,
Johnny,
and I got the except for Fenris, who stayed with Hawk. But I was like, but wait, we just had sex one time and it didn't seem like we were dating.
so Johnny, you also went on the run?
No, they wanted me to become Viscount, but I stayed in town for a while and then eventually disappeared. But I
So
didn't go
you
on the run.
refused the position of Viscount?
I didn't. There was no choice. This is just what Varric said, that everyone wanted him to become
interesting.
Viscount, but he said no.
Oh, really? That's crazy. So mine didn't say that, but at least if it had said that, I would have been like, I guess, like, because
I don't remember that. Maybe
Well, I
Mike
think
said that too.
that's because I sided
yeah, he
with
said
the
Templars.
Templars.
Yeah.
Oh, so I don't. Vanessa, what did yours say?
The same thing that we went on the run. I think there is a way
Oh,
for
that's what
Hawk
mine
to
said,
become Viscount, though.
Oh, well, you got this really cool ending, and I think, Vanessa, you probably got the same one, where after we kill Meredith, all the Templars come out and act like they're going to execute your party, and then you share a look with Cullen that's just like, don't even try it, bro.
Yeah.
And then he doesn't, and then he lets you leave. I thought that was a very... I thought a lot of the facial stuff in this game doesn't work. Like, dead eyes, their faces don't move, whatever. But that look between Cullen and at least my my Hawk was actually pretty telling, where I was like, oh yeah, this is a don't fuck with me kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then everybody kind of starts to back up, and then you just take off. Like, not quickly. You just strut on out of there.
Mm-hmm.
Real power move.
I'm surprised by what happened to Johnny, because everything I've seen online has said that if you side with the Templars, you do become the Viscount. So I don't know
No.
how Johnny managed to get his ending.
John got the punk rock ending.
I don't know. Maybe I misunderstood what Varric was saying, but I thought he said that he didn't become Viscount. But I guess he did.
So John, is your Hawk
He's
going to
definitely
be...
disappeared, for sure.
So John, is your Hawk going to be like a real piece of shit in Inquisition too?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Is your Hawk going to not want to answer any questions about the Christmas stuff?
Yeah, you better not answer it. I'll get the
Oh.
2 mil either way.
I'm looking and it looks like there are some kind of specific dialogue choices that you have to make. So maybe if Johnny was a
Oh.
little wishy-washy at some point, like, we can work this out. Let's talk about it. It
Oh.
doesn't quite work.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was kind of wishy-washy. You're right. I didn't want to murder all the mages. I just supported the Templar. Okay.
So that's the game.
That's
yeah, and
the
then
game.
we're set up for Inquisition. We have Cassandra
Nope.
talking to...
Oh.
Yeah?
Oh, I thought you meant
Liliana.
we were playing that next.
Oh.
I was like, no.
Not our next game.
Yeah, the end of the game sets up Inquisition with Cassandra talking to Liliana, being like, so we thought Hawk would be a good choice to lead us, but it doesn't seem like that's going to be the case with what Varric said, so what should we do? And she's like, well, we're going to figure it out, because not all Templars hate mages.
Oh, does the book that she closes, is that the symbol for Inquisition? Mm-hmm. Oh, I didn't even put that together until now. So the logo on that book that she closes to, like, right before the end credits.
didn't understand that at all.
Inquisition symbol. No, but now that I think about it, it makes sense. That's super cool.
Yeah,
I like
it
that.
really is like a kind of direct setup, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, me too. You don't really find, like, direct setups like that a lot in games. That's really cool.
I think because Inquisition was already being developed when they made Dragon Age 2, they had the
Yeah, it
opportunity.
really adds a lot to both experiences when they do that. Because you're like, that's a thing from the last game, and then it pays off like a big playthrough of the previous game. That's really neat, and rewards future playthroughs. I like it. So what'd you guys think of old Dragon Age 2?
I'd
Are you
like
squarely
to hear
against it?
from Matt first.
You know what? Squarely, we're squarely against? Is it
Yep.
time for the big final review of the season? 2 thumbs up.
Yep.
This is one of the best games we've ever played for this show. It's so good.
Yay!
It's so
Yeah.
good. I cannot believe how much of it I played. Like, I did everything. I really fucking blew through it. I loved it. Like, it was. It's not perfect. It's far from perfect, but it is a joy to play, and that is the number one qualifier for an instant classic, or whatever we want to call it. 2 thumbs up, roundly 4. This rockets to the top. We've had a few of these in the last year, actually, but this rockets to the top of the top 10 or whatever, right? Like, it's up there with Persona and Kingdom Hearts 2 and what's the other series?
Parasite.
We've only played one
Final
of
Fantasy
those.
X.
I'm so glad that you feel that way, Matt, because I know that I love Dragon Age Origins, and that was a harder sell for some of you guys.
I always had a
Yeah, I thought that game was just eternally ugly. It was just very hard.
I had
to
a
look at.
grudge against Dragon Age Origins, because number one, because of what Jim just said, it's hideous, and like for me, literally hard. It's hard for my eyeballs to like translate that level of blockiness. But it's in a sweet spot. But I also had a grudge on Dragon Age because it does rip off the Wheel of Time and several other. It's just very cliched and tropey, the setting. And the first game really dives into that setting, and and I always had a grudge against it. Like, wow, like just kind of cut and pasted from all of these different series, huh? Pretty lame. And yet it's zombies, cool. But you know what? This game's fucking fantastic. John, are you squarely against or roundly for?
I am roundly 4, and I think I liked it better the second time I played.
That's great.
It. First of all, I ended up with way more characters in my party, still in my party, than I did last time. I only lost 2 this time. One day I'll get a full roster playthrough.
Just resist that urge to murder your party members, and
Well, he deserved it.
I mean, you can't keep Anders and Sebastian, no matter what you do.
oh, really? I didn't have
Oh,
Sebastian, so I didn't
okay.
have to get rid of anybody.
I mean, like he was nothing. He was a nothing character.
yeah. Sorry, John, we're interrupting you.
That's okay.
You're squarely against.
It looks. I also recommend playing on PC because it does look much like. It looks like a PS4 level game rather than the sort of, because it came out on 360 and PS3. The PC version does look much better, and I think ages better than the console versions do, and like plays at a higher resolution with faster frame rates and all that. And I think also just playing it top down, Baldur's Gate style, Divinity style is a lot of fun. So yeah, roundly for Dragon Age 2. It's one of my favorite games we've played. I'd say it's top 5 for sure. What about Vanessa?
I am roundly for this game. I liked it much, much more than the first time I played it. And while I was playing it, like at the very end, I was not convinced that I ever actually finished this game. I'm not sure if that's
interesting.
true or not, but I don't remember the final boss battles. Maybe it's because I was using Andraste, which I did not do this time, and just cut them too short to really appreciate and enjoy them. But I liked it a lot. It has a lot of good story. The repeating dungeons didn't really bother me. And they did the first time I played. I wanted more exploration, I think.
Yeah, me too. And I wonder if like playing stuff like Persona and all those JRPGs that kind of reuse the same places over and over makes it more tolerable.
I think so, John. Really, I honestly do. I think this would get really samey like 10, 15 years ago, but replaying it now, like, especially after we played all those games, like, it didn't bother me at all.
Yeah.
And there aren't any voice performances in it that irritate me or seem to strike a wrong chord, which is really unusual. You know?
Especially
It's
after
easy
we
to
played Grandia. Yikes.
Well, it's easy to get like 4 or 5 good voice actors, but then oftentimes you just kind of fill in with whoever. But really solid cast. It didn't look like the best game, but it looked fine. It didn't bother my eyes. And yeah, I really liked it. And finally, Jim. Are you roundly for or squarely against?
I am roundly for. I think this is a good game. I agree with all of you that it's probably going to make it into at least my top 10, if not my top 5. Every time I sat down to play this game, I usually planned to play a certain chunk of it, and I ended up just continuing to play. Like, once you start playing this game and you get into the groove of going to different places to do different missions and learning who people are, the game just becomes better and better. And it pays off so many of those relationships. It, like, especially in this chunker that we just played, with all these faces from the first act showing up in the third act, even though like the scope is more narrow than other Dragon Age entries, like this one just paid off everything so well.
I want to say, like, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I feel like I appreciate the narrow scope. It makes the stakes...
No, totally.
It makes the stakes aren't not higher, but more personal, and I think that it makes for a better story.
Well, that's why, like, all of these little side quest characters were able to shine so much, is because the scale is so much more
Saving
narrow,
the world,
which
is
I'm saying,
so
like, I really
off.
appreciate. So
It's so boring.
But yeah, this was a good game, and I'm glad that we played it.
Yay! It's a BioWarey miracle.
Yeah.
God, you know what's killing me? When are we playing Inquisition? I want to play it now.
It's not even 10 years old yet.
It's like 2014?
Okay, that rule is getting looser as this podcast ages. I think that we should...
You know what? This year is when you're going to be able to get it in there.
For each year that the podcast is old, I think that's a year we should take off the 10-year rule.
Oh, interesting. When Vanessa and I interviewed Mark Dara, one of the things that made me appreciate this game even more was the fact that we got to do that during our playthrough. So...
That was really cool. It was so generous of him to give
and
some
like seeing
time
his
to
name
us.
in the credits when I got to the end of the game again yesterday, I was like, oh my gosh, I kind of know that guy.
Yeah, it's like the moment the credits start, because he's top of the credits. Executive producer Mark Dara.
He's first build when those credits start. It's super cool.
Well, you know what? Like, the absolute props to that guy, I guess. No offense, I just was not on that particular episode, but I know who they're talking about. I understand it.
He did a great job.
The game's incredible. And you know what's hilarious? I didn't play this game because even though people I knew liked it, I also had heard that it was really bad. So I just kind of never got around to it. And like, I really kind of regret it now. Dragon Age 1, I feel okay with being like, that wasn't for me. But Dragon Age 2, wow, what a missed game. Because this thing is fantastic. Fantastic.
Yeah, and it was made under all of these time constraints and pressures that limited the scope of the game, and I think it benefited from that in a lot of ways. It's like if you're in school and you get an assignment and you have to do it within these bounds, it sometimes makes it easier than just write a story.
That's an argument
like,
for
write about
that's
this.
an argument for why like editing is so vital to the creative process. And it is, and that's a good point. And it benefited from it. So 4 out of 4, we all fucking loved it. You know, I would say tough act to follow, but newsflash: the next game is Final Fantasy Tactics, and it is not a tough act to follow because that game's amazing too.
It's I don't know that it's hooked me so far, but
Hey Jim, that's
keep
fine.
at it.
Like nobody, we'll be okay.
I don't like a strategy.
Are you gonna say nobody cares?
Nobody cares. I will say with
I
tactics, and
corrected
this is good
myself.
for the listeners to hear too, that there is an initial difficulty bump that you have to get over. Like it starts out much harder than it actually ends up
Yeah,
being,
for sure.
which is unusual. For
Okay.
Actually,
I
I
needed to hear
don't
that.
agree. I
Okay.
think a lot of games have this problem. A lot of games that we play tend to have this problem of being super hard at the beginning because you have no options. All you can do is attack. But by the end of the game, you're a next tier level god that can do crazy shit.
Well, I guess that's true of a lot of RPGs, but even the first
right.
battle is difficult to
You're
beat.
right.
In
You're right for
tactics.
sure that this game has a notorious difficulty curve.
So if you're going to play along, my advice would be to take some time to grind. It's on mobile devices. I'm playing it, spoiler alert, on the iPad. It looks great on there. The touch controls are fine. I don't have any problem with them.
The fact that the whole game is menu based probably makes that easier.
Yeah, it does. So just like play it while you're watching TV or something like that, grind out some levels, and you'll have an easier time than if you tried to just follow the story.
And I second that, and I am a person that does not like grinding in games. Maybe I just have like an affinity for this type of slower turn-based combat, or game, whatever. But yeah, like you do have to grind in this game. You do have to beef your guys up, and you want to. It's more fun to be able to rampage through it, because if you are struggling, then there are spikes in this game that can end you. And as I have said several times in the chat, there is a game-ending save problem, like not bug, but boss, where it offers
Multiple saves.
Yep.
All the time.
If it offers to let you save after a battle, make sure that's a fresh save, because if you don't do that, you may not be able to go back and grind, and you may be stuck on that fight forever, because...
You know what? Speaking of Final Fantasy Tactics, what's going to be the first chunker?
Yeah.
Chapter
Fuck, I don't
one?
know.
Where should we have played for next episode?
Vanessa's played 60
How many
hours.
chapters are there?
Vanessa, what do you think? Help me out here.
Well, I have two different
Okay.
thoughts. I think chapter 1 is pretty short. We might be able to push through the whole chapter in one chunker. But if we don't want to do that, and I can understand why we wouldn't, then I think we should play to defeating Milleuda.
Okay.
It's Milleuda.
All right.
Let's do that.
So that's what we're going
Because-
to do for the
yeah.
first chunker of Final Fantasy Tactics. This is, I feel like, a game that our listeners have been waiting for us to play for a while.
Most people in the Discord said
let's-
that they
you know-
thought we had already done this one.
That's really funny. It's like, I feel like we've done this podcast for a while, almost 6 years. I feel like people have been talking about this game like since the
303 episodes.
Matt certainly
Oh yeah,
has.
this is
Matt
this
definitely
Final
has.
Fantasy Tactics is my favorite.
This is one of
my favorite RPG of all time, or it has been. I don't know. We've played a lot now.
this is Matt's favorite game. We're gonna play Matt's
Yeah.
favorite game, guys.
It
That's
legitimately
exciting.
is.
That's
War
pretty
of the
exciting.
Lions, just so we're on the same page, because no, really,
Yeah.
like no, like we'll talk about it next time. But like, I played this game on the original PlayStation. Like, this is
cool.
my Final Fantasy VII. All right,
That's cool. All right. Well, I don't think we have any emails this week.
We
We
do.
do.
Oh, we do have an
We
email.
do. We have two emails that I'm going to
Wow.
read. I'm gonna
Please
abridged.
do. I have so much to do tomorrow. I have to help Paul move some stuff. I have to take Caitlin to see Scream. And I have to edit?
Enjoy. The first one is from Huxley Iguana. Huxley has some information about Isabella because he kept Isabella in his party. Point number 1, if you manage to keep her right after she leaves, she comes back with the book, and the Arishok will demand that you give her to him so she can be forced into the Qun, and you have to choose between giving her to the Qunari or fighting the Arishok. So you can avoid that whole Arishok fight that we had so much trouble with if you give him Isabella. Secondly, in Act 3, we can find the guy who's been after her since she gave up the book and fight him. And once you do that, she gets her very own ship. If you are romancing her, she will invite you to be her first mate. Wink, wink. On the high seas.
Not her first mate.
Third, if you have her in your party for Zevran, she will remember meeting him in Origins, and at the end of the quest, she will sleep with Zevran, whether she's in a relationship with you or not.
Nice.
So Hawk stands there and can watch their love interest just walk off with Zevran and then come back like nothing happened.
Wait, can't you also join in?
Maybe
Many
he's into
people
that.
are into that type of relationship. As long as she comes back and reclaims him, their relationship is...
Yeah, yep.
I thought there was a way to have a 3-way.
There certainly is in Origins. You can have a 3-way with Isabella, Zevran.
Can you in
the
Inquisition
Warden.
too?
I'm not sure.
I thought I remembered that happening, but maybe I'm wrong.
And the fourth point, if she and Varric are both in your party, they will regularly talk about his chest hair.
Oh.
That is all I have time to read. We appreciate the rest of Huxley's email and are very happy that you have played along with us.
Thank you, Mr. Iguana.
Second email from Travis. Travis would like to know, have we ever considered playing Legend of Dragoon? It's a PlayStation 1 JRPG with an interesting combo-based battle system. Legend of the Dragoon. Who has heard of it?
I've heard of it. One of my earliest gaming memories after Final Fantasy VII was Legend of Dragoon, actually. I never played it, but I had a friend whose mom was always playing video games whenever we went over there, and she was playing it one time, and I watched her play it, and I was like, man, I wish I had
That's
this
hilarious.
game.
That's awesome.
So, yeah.
So do you prefer a combo-based fighting system or a tackies-based fighting system?
What?
Jim gets it.
Well, I'm glad somebody did.
You know what, John? Combos.
Yeah. I think I like combos better than tackies.
I like how combos are filled with, like, basically dog food.
Yeah, well, so are tackies.
No, are tackies
Yeah,
filled?
tackies are also gross.
Tackies aren't stuffed.
They're filled
no.
too.
Not regular tackies, but they have, like, a frozen version of tackies. It's like a pizza roll, but it's like a tacky with cheese in it.
Oh,
What
okay.
the heck
Yeah.
is a tacky?
chip.
It's like a spicy chip.
Ew.
Jalen's been eating them like for a while. They used to have Tackies challenges when she was in
Yeah, my
elementary
kids
school
love
where
it.
they'd. Yeah, so Jalen gets them all the time now.
Okay.
All
Moving
right.
on.
Patreon. We have a Patreon for $3 a month. You get access to every single bonus episode we've ever done. Every single one. And for $5 a month, you
Wait.
get to vote. Oh.
What's this month's bonus going to be?
This month's bonus will be a look at the chillifying, terrifying new Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
This is going to be so each month we usually, as far as responsibility goes, rotate these bonuses around. So
We forgot Jim.
there's kind of a running bonus calendar, and this month happens to be my month, and so I wanted to watch the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but I knew it was going to be bad, and I wanted to share that badness with my co-host.
I think it's a great idea. I think we're going to have fun talking about it.
Yeah, they're going to watch the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which is on Netflix. So check it out. I guess by the time this comes out, we haven't recorded it yet. So these are on the wire usually. So we will have this out by the end of the month, but it's going to be a good one, I think. I've seen the movie, and it's terrible. It's awful.
Oh, no.
It is really bad, but has the best ending to a horror movie I've seen. Maybe any movie I've seen in a while. It's good. Good stuff. So that will be a bonus for this month. And then, John, what about $5?
For $5, you can vote on upcoming votes. You just missed the one where Final Fantasy Tactics won. However, there will be another vote right after that's done. So it's the year of votes. 2022, it's up to you.
Up to you.
Yeah. So, get in on that. And thanks to listeners for helping me get a PS5. Woo!
That's really cool that all of us except for Matt at this point we're all totally next gen thanks to our patrons.
It's super cool, and I think I hope it stays just the way it is.
Yeah.
Where all of us except for Matt have all the consoles.
Yeah. Thanks, listeners, for helping us to exclude Matt from being able to be on the same next gen platform as all of us.
Yeah.
And Matt's giving the finger to the.
Aw,
Sometimes I
buddy.
forget that Matt has mobile headphones now, so when he has stepped away
I
from
can always
recording, he
hear
can
you.
still
Like,
hear us.
I'm in the bathroom, but I'm listening to you.
Gross.
All right. And what's the next bit? Oh, yeah. How do they contact us, Jim?
Don't.
We
Ain't
already
nothing
did
to
that.
say to us.
Oh.
We haven't read their names yet.
I would reiterate Vanessa's
and
contest,
also
but if we have to talk about it again,
review
I'll
us.
kill myself on the air.
We have to.
Don't go back and rewind and listen to Vanessa's contest rules earlier in the episode.
Yeah.
Now commence the reading of the names.
Johnny, will you please lead us? Since you are listed at the top.
Jonathan!
All right. Nope, not my name. Florian Jonas Kramer, our best and handsomest friend. Stan Ferguson, Andy, Joshua Bennett. Alpha 5 is Psyduck in a robot costume. No, he's, what was it, Manowar? Who's the one from Aquaman that he is? Andy M, Joshua Bennett. Oh, no, I already did those. Matt Rathbone, Ward Childress, Dylan Rowe, Andy Smith, Sergeant Spaghetti. Blame my kids for the booty butt cheeks name. Mostly rational person. Citrus C. Metal Gear Solid 1 in 2021 is old news. Mikey Mucho, Sean Walsh, Angel, Miguel Torres, and the RPG Luminary.
I would like to thank Trent Hexam Queer Icon. Yakuzi like dragging D's nuts across your face. Joshua W. Broxson, Dobie Keen's Discount Dragon Barn, Fresh Eyes, Aaron, Zelda 2 is underrated. Little, is a Diva Cup just a shot glass for vampires? I demand you change that.
I thought we agreed to take that
John?
one out.
Cerebus Minotaur. Cerebus Minotaur. Matt Jorgensen. Brian Pitt. Likes boats. Excuse me. Brian Pitt.
Big boat.
Brian Pitt likes big boats. They cannot lie. Hudson Roth. Bree Girth. D. Jethro. Kristen Ingram. Eric. Pidkamy. Vanessa's mom won't be petrified by Andraste. Help! I'm trapped in this Shit. Help! I'm trapped in this Avatar thumbnail. Metal Gear Solid 2 in 2022. Don't put your luck, sir!
I'm Jimmy McDougall, and I would like to thank Brian Miller, Joseph, Paul Bursch, Burp Fart My Hat, Chad Wilson, Christopher Thompson, Ross Hartley, Rubber Bear, Lex Averial, Wedgecoon, Eric Garb, Jason Timms, Don't Blame Us, Blame Yourself or God, Huxley Iguana, Ron, Mary Queen of Scoffs, Michael Crawford, and Ederuli.
Ederuli?
Or
I don't
what does
know.
that say?
Ederul.
Oh, Ederul. I couldn't tell if that was an I or an L.
IRL. Get it? And I, Vanessa McPoogle, would like to thank...
Whoa, don't say your last name on the air.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry.
I would love it if Vanessa's last name that she'd never revealed was actually McPoogle.
I would like to thank Cyril the Wolf, Robert T., Chris Penyak, Race Jenkins, Lali Lulilo, David Green, Why Is Everyone Always Covered in
Yes.
So Much Blood? That time of the month. Ricky Barty, Keysby Knight, Rolled Earth, Third Wave Banditry, Hexagon, Sexy Grandma's Boy Toy is Ari Copavara, Nathan Poirot, Amanda Douglas, Oh My God, What Is This Game? And Tracy.
Tracy.
All right. Well, that's it for this episode of Square Roots. If you would like to have an email read on the air, you can send it to squarerootspodcast@gmail.com. We have a Facebook group that you can join. It's the Square Roots Podcast group for smart, cool, very attractive people. Or you can find us on Twitter at Square Roots Pod.
Please rate, review, and subscribe on iTunes, Ghana, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Thanks to Stephen Morris for our Square Roots theme. You can find Stephen on Twitter as Beige on Beige and on YouTube. I've got links for those in the show notes. Vanessa.
Spotify listeners, we still haven't gotten that sweet Joe Rogan cash deal. Please contact Spotify and let them know that we would like only $30 million a year. We do have the next-gen consoles, but what good are they if we don't have anything to play on them? We need $30 million.
At least.
For all our classic episodes, check out our archive at squareroots.libsyn.com or on our Square Roots RSS feed.
All right, everyone, for Square Roots, I am Jim
I'm
Banks.
Matthew Van Zant.
I'm Johnny Van Zant.
And I'm Miss McDougal.
McPoogle.
Bye.
All right, bye.
Bye.